Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SpawnCast episode 177. We're missing Sean. He's somewhere. I don't know. He had stuff he had to do tonight, so hopefully he'll be back next week. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on him. Nate is also missing, and Nate's been the talk this week, so he needs to be here. So he's all over all these forums and stuff. So we'll get him in here. But everyone else is with us. We got MVG. What's going on, MVG?
What's going on, man? Great to be here.
Good to have you here. That was a good video, man, of telling us how Resident Evil 2 got on that N64.
Yeah, that video did well. I appreciate everyone checking it out. It was a good video. Had a lot of fun making that video. So hopefully I'll get around to doing more of those types of videos, because there's a lot of really cool, interesting games that need to be go back and look at them and talked about, because I think it's interesting technology that they use for that game.
Is that the big conversion though, going from PS1 to N64 because of the space limitation? Is that like for other games too? Is that like the big one?
I think yeah, and also textures as well. I mean, there was some game like Mega Man 64, right? Like that came out. Tony Hawk had a port. There's some N64 ports that came from the PS1, but yeah, I mean, texture size and just restrictions on RAM and stuff like that are the main things. But getting full motion video out on the N64 is a pretty massive achievement, so I thought it was cool to talk about. Nice,
very cool. And then we got Miss Click.
Hey yo,
what's going on? How's it going?
Good to see you guys. Missed you guys last week.
Room is purple. Good. Got that set up. You're red. It was red before we went live. You got it purple though. Cool. So we got MVG, Evan, and Click all purple. And wait a minute, Jordan's is
now we're coordinating.
All right. How's it going, Miss Click?
Good.
Good to have you with us. Then we got OJ. What's going on, man? Player Essence.
What's up, man? It's good to be here.
Good to have you here. We got Evan, of course, in with the monitoring chat, doing the spawn clips, doing all kinds of. He's cutting up all the podcasts now.
Super busy.
Yeah, you want to check that channel out, because that was actually a lot of fun over there. You're doing some fun edits too, like when Jordan tricked us into saying Gears Judgment was good for a little while.
That was a scam.
It was the solid MVG just.
That was a great video. I thought I snuck that one past you, Evan, but nothing snuck.
That's why I was laughing.
Evidently,
it was so good.
Jordan, what's up, man?
What's going on? Glad to be here.
How's Darkness Ablaze going? You done that set?
I'm only missing like 12 cards.
12? Okay.
Yeah, it's the hard to get ones.
That's the ones where you got to buy like a booster box just to get one of them, right? That's how they
at this point, yeah. I have all the easy cards to get. I already have 4 of the Charizards. It's just the rest of the rare cards to pull at this point. But,
so do you just sell the rare cards and dump them back into booster boxes?
If I was a smart person, I would, but I just never do that. I literally have. I could tens of, maybe hundreds of thousands of cards just stacked in the other room in tins and stuff. I just haven't done anything with them. I don't know.
Wow. Okay. You gotta sell a whole set of them just to people who maybe want to play.
Yeah.
Like maybe they want one of each or something. Oh well. Max, what's going on, Dreamcast guy?
It has been a week, man. I've reviewed 3 separate games, and I've been watching the DC stuff all day. I watched the DC stream.
Yeah, we were the DC fandom stuff for Suicide Squad ran right up until this start of this podcast, so it's still pretty hot right now to kind of go through the info. But we did see Gotham Knights, so that was pretty cool. We'll go over. We'll talk a little bit about that. Then we had some interesting things happening with the PlayStation 5 launch lineup. We'll go over. Indie World, of course, happened. There's some pretty good games in there. We'll talk about. And then these Nintendo Direct rumors. I want Nate here for it, so we'll hold out on that until hopefully he gets here in time to let us know about that. And actually, Indie World was like right up his alley too, because it's just like all Nate plays are indie games. So we'll see if he pops in here just randomly. He just shows up. But what's everyone else been playing though? What do we got this week? Anything good?
I played Samurai Jack, and I think I watched your review too.
I beat Samurai Jack. Yeah,
Samurai Jack. You know what? I was actually having fun with that game. I played it too. I played it on the Switch. There's some performance issues on the Switch, but outside of that, it was. You know what? It reminds me of just a game from the PS2 era.
Yeah, that's
kind of reminds me of
exactly.
Yeah,
it's like a throwback.
It's like basic but comfortable.
You know?
So like
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, so I wasn't expecting like 90s or anything for it. I was like mid 70s at best. But go on, Max. What were you saying?
There are technical problems on the PS4 Pro as well. Those frame rate issues. It's just in the game, which is weird. But yeah,
is the game running at 60? 60 frames on PS4, or does it hit 60?
Kind of. It sticks around 60 a lot, but in the later areas, because I beat the whole game in one sitting. The whole game's only about 8 hours total.
Yeah.
In the later areas, there's a lot of enemies, and the enemies start being more like vertical and stuff. For some reason, like when enemies start flying, the game just chugs. But it's good.
They mentioned that you have to play through the game multiple times to like fill out the rest of the skill tree, I think is what they were saying. So like you go back through with different difficulties. But I was having fun with it. The thing with the Switch, it has image quality issues too. Like the resolution will drop, and like sometimes Jack's face will like break up into a bunch of dots at times.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's there were some issues there with that. But I mean, otherwise, it plays well on the Switch in portable mode, and it is. You're right, OJ. It's a fun throwback to like an old school type of game. I think
I was surprised. I like legitimately really liked the game. I didn't think, because I wasn't going into it like, oh my gosh, this game's gonna be amazing. And I watched Samurai Jack a little bit, but it was always that show that I was like, yo, I'd rather watch Yu Yu Hakusho, because like Yu Yu Hakusho was getting going around the time that Samurai Jack was like blowing up in popularity. And like I'm like, I don't want to. I just let me watch Yu Yu Hakusho. Like I don't want to watch this beforehand. So I mean, I never really watched Samurai Jack too much, but I'd keep up with it. So I'm not a big fan of the show, but they gave me a review code, decided to play it, and it reminded me of an era of like that I loved. If you like the old school like Ratchet and Clank, just like hitting stuff and breaking things and like getting collectibles, it's fun, and it has like a cool combo system in there. It's not a full price game; it's $40, and there'll probably be discounts later in the year too. So like for me, I actually really enjoyed it, and it was nice to actually play a game that has like that old school like level design. It's like the old school like Devil May Cry. You just kind of go through, and like then you get like, your ranking at the end, and then it's the next level. You start up at the beginning, you just go through next. Like I don't got to worry about like a hub world. I don't got to worry about going like traveling here. Like it's cool, pick up and play fun. So I actually really liked it.
I love how you just teleport from level to level. Like there's a storyline reason for it, but there's no BS. There's not a lot of cutscenes. There's usually like a 15-second cutscene that's like, oh, you found the next relic, and then you just teleport to the next level. And I love that it's all action. Every level has their own custom enemies. So you're fighting against zombies and futuristic ninjas, and then like those cat buff shirtless dudes.
It's definitely set up for fans of the show. Like if you're a fan of the show, you might as well just go pick it up for the $40. I think it's pretty good for that. Oh, I did. I picked up a couple games. So I finally found Destroy All Humans. This game for the Xbox One is actually kind of hard to find. I don't know if anyone else has tried to pick it up, but like
certain Xbox One games, that Xbox One itself they're just not producing as much as they used to. Well, the production has ramped down dramatically.
Yeah, the issue with this one is they didn't do enhancements apparently on the PS4 Pro, just on the One X for this game. So apparently, because like I can go to Walmart and find it on the PS4, but they have like none on like they have the sticker for it, but this is not there like physically. So I had to order it from like Target when it came back in stock, and on Amazon it's still not there. So I played a couple levels of it tonight because it just showed up yesterday. This was like 2 days late. I don't know, it was weird, but I mean, it's Destroy All Humans, so it's still fun. I liked it from back in the day. The visually it looks so much better now because they redid it in Unreal Engine. And then I got a game, and it's funny because Sean's not here. I was having a hard time playing it. It's for 2K. It's the Golf 2K21. The PGA Tour. I haven't played a golf game in a while. I was like, let me pick this up. Dude, I can't play it because it keeps disconnecting. I don't know what the deal is. I'm trying to play it. It's trying to connect to the internet for like for the servers, because this is like 2K, so it has like I didn't realize it has like their own currency and stuff in there, of course.
Oh yeah, 2K stuff.
Yeah, which people are saying that are playing it. They're like, it's not really needed because you earn it as you go through. Because you set up as a creative character, you play through it, and you have like stats and levels and all this stuff. So it has like mild RPG elements to it and equipment pickups, which are your clubs. So I was like, I really like the old school Tiger Woods games. I know this is the people who did what is it called? Golf
PGA
Club.
Tour?
That's Golf Club something. It's exactly the fifth one, I think, of the series. It's like, I'll give it a shot. So I got to play all of half an hour, and most of it was just me creating my character. So that was fun. But I know what MVG's been playing. He's been posting it. MVG has found his new game of the year.
I love it, man. Flight Simulator. It's the best game. It's the best game.
I gotta hear about this game because it's on Game Pass for PC, but it's like it's 180 gigabytes.
Yeah, it's huge. It took me I've got Google Fiber, man, and it took me like a good 4 hours or something to download.
Some of the people I've been following online have said they've installed it, and then like the texture things don't sync, so they have to like uninstall it and reinstall it.
Well, I haven't had that problem, but man, I love the game. It's so cool. I mean, it's like the boomer version of Animal Crossing, right? Like the over 40s. I mean, we're just loving this game because it's simulating airplane flight, and you're basically piloting a large airplane or a small propeller airplane. And man, there's just something about this game that just takes you out of everything that's going on in the world right now, and it's just like the best escape from reality. I just absolutely love it. I mean, the graphics are that
might be the best visuals I've seen ever.
I mean, we talk about next generation. I mean, these are some early previews at what next generation is going to look like. I mean, just amazing.
You know what's crazy, dude? You know what? I don't think it's on current or I don't think it's on the Xbox right now because I don't think the Xbox can handle it.
I don't think so either. I mean, even my machine, which is a 1080 Ti, sometimes you can see it struggling a little bit. I mean, it's just streaming textures in all the time. So, I mean, it's suited for next generation. And I think it's coming out for the Series X, right? I keep hearing that
I think they're aiming for that. But the problem from what I'm seeing online is the CPU. It is just beating up CPUs left and right. And dude, we know what's in that. Like the VCR, Nate's system would catch on fire. The Xbox One CPU would get destroyed by this thing. But my favorite part is people going around and like looking at like their neighborhoods and like places they always wanted to visit and stuff.
That's the part that's so crazy. Like I flew to Melbourne, my hometown, and I was just flying around there. I'm like, man, this is an accurate representation of my city, and I think a lot of people are getting very similar experiences from it. And it's almost like a 2020 version of Pilot Wings in another way, right? And that's another game that I really liked back in the day on the N64 and on the Super NES. I mean, you got these challenges as well. You got these landing challenges you can do. And they throw you into all these different scenarios. So I mean, it's just the ultimate sandbox for me, and I love the game. Like, I think it's the best game that's come out this year, and I'm just going to keep playing it until I don't even know when, man. I'm just hooked on the game right now.
I am curious if that game, because it is, I think it's like the third or fourth highest rated game this year so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like 1 point below Last of Us Part 2 right now.
Yeah, I believe it.
Is that a game, because I think it's like a 93 on Metacritic, is that a game that is allowed into the Game of the Year conversation?
I don't know the answer to that. I mean,
why wouldn't it be allowed into the conversation?
Well, okay, how come Animal Crossing hasn't been put into
Animal Crossing is allowed into the conversation.
Yeah. I don't ever hear anyone mention it. Like it's in terms of like, oh, we're talking about Last of Us, all this stuff. Like Animal Crossing never seems to come up because we're like, oh, it's Animal Crossing. People do that with Flight Simulator. They go, oh, it's Flight Simulator.
I'm making a bold claim, and maybe MVG is just going to show up at my house and British stab me. But I don't think Flight Simulator is not a real game.
Let's chat about what a British stab is, by the way.
Flight Simulator is not a real game.
I think that's an interesting point. It's not really a game in the traditional sense, but I will say that there are objectives. Like, it's like playing GTA, right? Like you can log into GTA and just mess up the city and not do anything, right, and have fun. Mm-hmm. This is very similar. There is objectives in the game, but you're right, Max. I mean, there's no campaign. There's no stage one is learning how to fly and then kind of going through some type of story missions or story mode. So yeah, I mean, I would agree with you, but I do think that it should be in some nominations, whatever that is. Definitely. I don't know if it's Game of the Year, but it should get something because it's a very impressive game, and I think it should get the credit that it deserves for sure.
Sure. Okay. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe if it's a game that doesn't have an obvious start and finish kind of thing, and it's a game you just play for hundreds of hours, and it's like Animal Crossing, I guess, is kind of like it's life simulation almost, right? For a lot of people, I guess it's flight simulation. I don't know, maybe that's why people don't bring it up as much.
But check it out. I mean, if you've got the drive space and you've got Game Pass and you've got a fairly beefy PC, I mean, you'll get a lot of enjoyment out of this game. It's a lot of fun.
Okay. What were you saying, Miss Click?
No, I was gonna say I wonder how with the nominations how it's gonna go, because I feel like Flight Simulator, Animal Crossing, and now Fall Guys, they all three are kind of having the same impact. Like people are kind of like they're launching out, and I think Animal Crossing and Fall Guys have more of like a phenomenon behind them, but I feel like Flight Simulator, a lot of people haven't played a simulator, a flight simulator before, and now all of a sudden they're really interested. And I think probably because of the streaming climate, it was always more of a niche category. And I think now that there's a new one, out, a lot of people are broadening out to it. So I think it'll be interesting to see how, if some of these games do make nominations based on the impact culturally that they've had for the pandemic era, but then also, in comparison to games that have the emotional, storyline with the beginning and the end and the different chapters, we'll probably see with, I guess, like Final Fantasy and Ghost and Cyberpunk and stuff. So it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a really interesting year to see.
Yeah, I don't. If it doesn't get nominations, it's not the end of the world. I still think the game is great.
It's not gonna make you hate the game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna march to Microsoft's headquarters or whatever, Jeff Keighley's house, and demand a recount or something. I mean
they left Fire Emblem out last year, so
and I had to go full Black Keighley on that one. So I got a good video coming up on that too.
I think Fall Guys will take best multiplayer game.
Absolutely.
I'm
so addicted, man.
Is that okay? So let's hear it, Max. What are you playing other than Samurai Jack?
So I actually beat 2 other games this week. I beat Battletoads. I didn't care for it. I think.
Oh man, Sean needed to be here for this because he was like the Battletoads guy from back in the day. And be able to tell us.
Maybe what we'll do is next week I'll talk to him about it when he's on the SpawnCast because I do want to hear his opinion. So I beat it. I beat it fully co-op. There is no online co-op.
How long is the game?
About 3 hours. About 3 hours.
I thought. Okay, yeah.
The weird thing is that it's all mini games. It starts out as a beat 'em up, and then it turns into there's an hour of a space shooter. Then you compete in the Olympics, and then you do literally like 30 minutes of Turbo Tunnel. It's so random. It constantly there's multiple rock paper scissors segments. It's so sporadic.
Can I talk
strange.
Real quick? Can I talk about this just because I was a huge Battletoads fan. Battletoads fan back in the day. I played the Double Dragon versus Battle. I played all of them, arcade, all of that stuff, and it just seems like they don't care. This seems like they're just like, let's just throw this game out. 3 hours. The way that they redesigned the Dark Queen lady or whatever. I get it, but my goodness gracious, man, the radical redesigns and just the weirdness of this game. Like you said, the mini game type of stuff, which they had the Turbo Tunnel or Turbo whatever before and stuff like that. But I was expecting more of a beefy, somewhere between 6 to 10 hours, in that range. I was expecting that, and I was expecting a little bit. Obviously online co-op would have been nice,
some would say basically mandatory.
How does that not happen?
Me and my brother lives in Sacramento, and I'm like, how can we even? we can't even do this, So it's and then we gotta wait all the way till I was like, oh, well, just don't worry about it. We'll just play it, once he comes here for a holiday. So no online at all. I know it's just Game Pass, but I'm disappointed. I watched your review, and I'll get it at some point, but I'm disappointed how they treated the Battletoads, considering the history and legacy of the game. It just seems to me like it was just let's just get the cheapest type of budget we can get for this game and kind of throw it out there. Just to make fans happy, just get off our back for not doing anything with Battletoads.
How did they not do online multiplayer? That's weird.
Streets of Rage did. So
it seems like it was made by a very, 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 very tiny group of people. I think it's like a C studio that's owned by Microsoft technically, and they were like, all right, just make it whatever it is. We'll make it Battletoads. We'll give you all the budget you need. I just don't think that they had no
budget.
I've heard coding online multiplayer is difficult. I've actually heard that it's very difficult. It's more than just servers. Making sure that 2 players can see each other and be working on each other's consoles. If they're a development team of 20 people, maybe they just couldn't do it right. It's very strange.
Well, thankfully it's on Game Pass. There we go. It's a Game Pass out of 10. All right.
The last thing I did beat, I want to mention real quick, Mortal Shell. I beat it. Holy heck, Mortal Shell is great. I gave it an 8 out of 10 or 8.5 out of 10. It's basically a slightly easier Dark Souls. It's $30. It's super short and sweet. I really liked it.
Okay.
Been watching a lot of Mortal Shells myself. It's like you get like different shells and like they can block attacks and like they have certain abilities to each shell. I don't like Dark Souls games anymore. I don't play them anymore, but I watch all the guys who play them. Like on Twitch. Like I watch because they're really good at it, and I watch like Max and the other Max, but the other Max, Maximilian. He plays games like that, so I watch them. So I'm really into watching people play it. So I've watched a lot of it. It does look really good, from what I've seen.
If you end up, when it goes on sale later, OJ, I may buy you a copy because I think that this may be the gateway drug for you. It's
The gateway drug.
Well, and because it's very accessible. One of the characters I think you would like the most, OJ, is that there's a ninja shell you can put on, and his dodge is he turns into smoke for a second. So he basically has the Naruto ninja vanish. So if you get good at that, you can just teleport through people. It's so good, bro. You just literally just Naruto.
One more time. Yeah, one more time on that.
This is
my ninja signs, bro. This is my ninja signs.
The Nutty Professor.
What is that? What is that? What do you become, like a Hawkage or something?
Ninja sign.
That's the Hercules.
It's a Hawkage, right?
The Hawkage?
The
I'm about to
Hawkage, right?
vomit. I'm about to vomit. You Sharingan, my special eyes.
What's this? What's Rasengan? What is this?
Rasengan?
Jordan, what'd you play this week? Let us know.
Aside from like a couple of rounds of Fall Guys here and there, just trying it out. Dude, I had no time to play anything this week. I also don't have anything to really that interests me to play. Like I'm just waiting for the next big thing to come out, which I think at this point is just what Tony Hawk is the next game.
Tony Hawk, couple weeks though, not too far away.
Not too far, but there's just like nothing. Like I've been trying to find games to play, and I'm like, I can't get into it. I've looked in backlogs. I've looked like as new as possible, old as possible.
Okay.
But I spent too much this week working on the video I put out today, and I had to take a college class to learn some stuff to apply some of my knowledge to this video.
You got that Kickstarter you're rolling with too, though, right now. So
yeah, that's taken its time. It's almost funded, and that's really cool and really exciting. I've just been a long work week, not a really fun week.
You're gonna be on Tony Hawk though when it drops, right?
I will definitely play Tony Hawk, and I will show off my collector's edition Birdhouse.
Yeah, I gotta see that too. OJ got it too. You got the collector's edition, right, OJ?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
good.
I forgot that I bought it. But yes, I did buy it. So yeah, I'll definitely check out Tony Hawk.
I want to see that.
I was a big fan back in the day.
I want to see that
Yes.
skateboard. So I'm curious.
It's a full Birdman skateboard.
It's just the deck.
It doesn't have the truck.
You don't get the trucks, bearings, wheels. Yeah,
it doesn't have, but it still has like the full deck.
It's just wood. You're paying $100 for some wood.
It's shiny wood.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the game too.
Well, yeah, you get a game, but like, who cares? You get a skateboard.
Well, back in the day, just the popular decks, they would be like what, $50, 50, 60, even higher for just the deck by itself.
Yeah, I thought they were like 100.
Yeah, it depends on. Yeah, I mean, it's average price. You're getting a good deal on it. You're not paying over for a collector's edition. You're paying for a skateboard for basically what the game's $40, so $60 for a deck. Not bad.
It's a good deal. It's definitely a good deal.
Let's go, Miss Click. What'd you play this week? Let's hear it.
I mean, I didn't play too many new things. We obviously did Fall Guys, which has been a blast. Just a great game.
Going to phones in China, I see, which means it's probably going to be phones everywhere else soon too. So that's smart.
Money.
That's smart. Sense. It's very popular. Why not?
Yeah. And then other than that, I played was it Raji? One of the indie games?
I was gonna jump into that because when we get into the indie world stuff, I've been playing a lot of that game too, and I'm actually really liking it.
It's really short. I finished it in one stream. I was like,
oh really?
No.
Oh, wow. How long is it? Because I might be mostly.
It's like 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah, I'm almost done.
So you're I thought about at one point stopping.
Longer than Battletoads.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, right. It's 1.5 Battletoads.
Yeah, no, it's good. There were a couple bugs that I experienced with the game, but granted, I mean, it's they're starting out, so for a first time, I think they were talking about this is the first time they're featured actual like Indian developer for the Switch. That's like so cool, but like not just lore, but like history that they throw in, on the backstory of the culture is just like really, really cool. So I enjoyed that greatly. The combat was really fun. I know I don't want to get too much into it, but enjoyed that greatly. And then other than that, just, like Overwatch and some Hyperscape, but that's it.
Evan, what do you play this week?
I mean, got into the Samurai Jack stuff. We already talked about that. I've been getting into some older competitive games with my friends again, and Fall Guys. Lots of Fall Guys.
I see you post about Fall Guys all the time on Twitter.
Usually a couple dubs a night. Yeah.
A couple dubs a night.
No big deal.
Fall Guys.
Get my ass kicked in Fall Guys.
Yeah, you did.
hey.
My favorite thing
Who's
is
the one that won one?
My
And listen, I have a video coming out tomorrow of our highlight of Dreamcast Guy and I and OJ playing together. So tomorrow, make sure you check it out because there are some good clips of OJ getting his
my favorite thing's all the talk about.
Include me winning.
My favorite thing's all the talk right now about people who are like, "Oh, you're trying too hard. This isn't that kind of game." I got victories during the week while doing commission work. Like I was literally just putting my controller down, spinning around, working on stuff, and then like coming back to it and just casually playing.
Biggest flex.
It's not that hard. Like, it's playing.
I'm over here sweating, man.
You know what I noticed? No one said they were trying the Avengers beta.
Good.
The what?
Man, wow, that's.
I watched one.
I watched a lot of. I've seen videos. I watched a lot of Professor Broman on Twitch, and I watched Max, and I watched other people play it. The other Maximilian. Dude, the game looks like garbage.
It's open. It's open now this week too.
Horrible.
No one's playing. It's like they even opened it early, and everyone's like, okay, I guess.
There's all sorts of particles on screen, and there's slowdown, and there's
the camera shake, bro. Every single
camera
second.
shaking. You can't see anything.
Dude,
it looks
it's
horrible.
boring. Dude, being the Incredible Hulk and punching a normal dude like 6 times to knock him out is boring. It's so bad.
It's just, it looks like they're trying to, it looks like a focus group type of game. Like they're just like, oh, what's popular? Destiny? Okay, stuff like that. Like they just look like they just took what was from there. They said, let's just make a game that's like that. It doesn't breed, there's no originality at all in the game. And it's just, I don't know, man. I'll try it when it's like $20 special, when they actually like fix it. You know, like Destiny, it's a game of service. It's going to take a while for the game to be good. So once the game is out and they actually get all the characters and everything out, then it'll probably end up being good at some point. But right now it seems unfinished right now. It'll be good eventually. I think eventually it'll be good, like Destiny. Destiny got good eventually, right? Like Destiny 2. Eventually
I always just played Crucible and Destiny. I don't know, because it felt more like Halo than anything else. I never even did a lot of the story stuff. I didn't have to. Evan, we had a Discord question over there.
Let's go with this one. Do you think we'll eventually see more remakes of great JRPGs in either similar fashion to the Final Fantasy VII remake or visual aesthetic change and update like Octopath?
I think based on what Square said about Trials, I think we're going to see more of stuff like that.
Well, and Final Fantasy Final Fantasy Remastered is about to come out, and now we know that it's like double the game. Literally, they added in like everything that was in it. They just doubled it. So
apparently, apparently, Trials of Mana exceeded Square's expectations. So
I talked about that a little bit because of the initial sales in Japan were ridiculously good. It was like 180 something thousand without digital. The first week in Japan. So if it's like that in Japan, you already know that the US is going to be a lot bigger. So I'm guessing, this is just estimate, I'm guessing it's like over 1.5. It's nearly maybe 2 million after a couple of price drops here. So it's doing probably way better than they thought it would do.
Here's the thing: if let's say they announced they're going to remake Chrono Trigger, man, they have to nail it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they can't mess around with that one.
They can't mess with it.
I think that's something they should do after.
There's the argument that they didn't nail Final Fantasy VII, but it's taking off. So do they really? Yeah. Do they actually?
I mean, the Chrono Trigger's name will sell games no matter what. But like, that's one that they should probably look at after Final Fantasy VII Remake's done, and they have more, I would say, workforce to get after it. Because that's one I would like to see the budget of Final Fantasy VII Remake and the time put behind rather than Trial. I think Trials of Mana is great, but like, got to put that workforce behind Chrono Trigger.
There's no way they're going to put that type of money behind Chrono Trigger. Like,
you don't think so?
No.
Then don't release it.
Chrono Trigger's never sold.
Then don't release it.
It's never sold more than, I don't think the best selling one was the Super Nintendo game, the original, from what I understand. Maybe if you count like the mobile, the PC, but like none of them has ever crossed like 5 million. It's always been like the 3 million range. Chrono Trigger is not a big franchise. Chrono Cross, I think, did worse on the PlayStation 1, and that was on the PS1. So like the franchise, I think that's what caused them to say, okay, screw Chrono Trigger, like screw this franchise, was Chrono Cross, because they put like, that was the big budget type of Final Fantasy budget type of game in that franchise, and it didn't do anywhere near as well as they thought there was. And like they've said, screw it since then. So I don't see them putting that type of money into it. I would love it, but
they're gonna do the Trials of Mana treatment to something else. Something else will get that because of how well this did. So, I mean, you can place your bets with that. Maybe they'll do Final Fantasy 6 like that.
Oh, that was so lit.
What
dude.
about like Chrono Trigger with like a slightly higher budget than what Trials of Mana got? Because that was a Unreal Engine 4 game. It looks good. It runs good. I mean, it plays good. It was a great remake of the game. They added a bunch of cool content. So, I mean, I think maybe they could probably get away with that, right?
Yeah, they probably could. Like I said, the title Chrono Trigger will sell games either way. Like people will be like, "Oh wow, they're redoing Chrono Trigger. Let's check it out." So, I think they could make it work either way. But I would love to see them go crazy, all out like Final Fantasy 7 remake on it. But I know Final Fantasy 7's got that legendary status. So
yeah, they know it's gonna sell, so they put that type of money behind it. Because Square Enix is really interesting because they don't really put if you look at it, the only two RPGs they really put a ton of money into, like Japanese would be like Dragon Quest, and Final Fantasy. That's it. All their other RPGs, they either don't care about them, they've been gone forever, or it's
and even Dragon Quest, like if you play through Dragon Quest 11, it has about the same production value of Trials of Mana, maybe slightly better, but like it doesn't have anywhere near like what Final Fantasy 7 remake has in terms of production value.
Yeah, it's nowhere near that. But the production with like Dragon Quest, because Dragon Quest is a 100-hour plus RPG, so that's where the money is spent, is just making this massive game, you know, that where you have to like just and to make it not boring too, you know, to be able to have cool content throughout all of that, you know, those hours. So that's where they spend a lot of the money, is that, and also the localization for that game, because the amount of text that's in that game, localization is very expensive. That type of game is just very expensive to do, and just in general. But yeah, I see what you're saying though.
Evan, we have another Discord question.
We got a guy looking for recommendations for physical indie games on the Switch. He doesn't want to get stuff from Limited Run or Super Rare just because of expense. He's looking for more like standard stuff.
Physical.
Streets of Rage 4 has a physical that's not limited run. You can pick it up pretty readily available. There's what else is there? I mean, there's others out there.
A lot of them show up at Best Buy. Best Buy gets a lot of these indie games.
Mass produced. So yeah, some of the list stuff is labeled as limited run, but it actually got mass produced. I definitely cannot say enough about Golf Story. Golf Story
has a physical copy. Yeah,
that was the game that got me into indie games on the Switch. Straight up, that one game turned me into the indie game fan I am for the Switch.
It's a very good game. Yeah, I recommend that. This Stardew Valley, do they have a physical copy in
Asia? And it's I don't think it's there's one in Asia for sure. I don't know if there's one here. The other game that was is one that you should pick up is Untitled Goose Game. That's getting a physical as well.
Oh, there you go. What about Panzer Dragoon?
Well, that's limited run games, and it hasn't come out yet.
Oh, I'm still waiting for my copy.
I was gonna say because Jordan's still waiting for his copy.
Undertale got a physical edition on Switch only, I think.
So I think we'll wait a little bit for Nate, just in case he pops in at like 10 or something. But let's actually go over to the PlayStation 5 launch lineup. We'll save the direct stuff for if Nate's here. I'm going to take on a few things that are coming out from these direct rumors. So the PS5 launch lineup, we had Deathloop was supposed to come out, I think, right alongside the PS5. That got delayed, so that got pushed. As far as we know right now, I guess the big exclusive is Spider-Man. I think that and Godfall, right? But Godfall technically is on PC, I guess. But like it's mostly Spider-Man as the one and only game on the PS5. But now we have a rating for Demon Souls on the PlayStation 5, and it's got rated in Korea. So now people are wondering if that is part of the launch lineup, because they also said that there was a Sony executive that said they have like the best they feel like the best lineup launching with the PS5 right now, and everyone's looking at it like, yeah, you got Spider-Man.
Yeah, and I think he meant the launch window, like for next year as well. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Bluepoint, this was not recently, but maybe a year ago, didn't they say that they were working on a launch game for the PS5? Or am I like out of inaccurate?
It was something like that. I believe their words were, our next project is already very far along. I don't think they said next gen, but I do think that they already hinted that it's basically finished.
I think the plan for Demon Souls this whole time has been to launch on like day one with the PS5. I think that's been the thought of it for a while. I mean, they've been working on this game for a bit now. When did Shadow of the Colossus come out? I feel like that was
2018?
2017?
2018?
2018, 2017.
Yeah.
2018.
Because I feel like they've been working on this for a while now for Demon Souls, and when that rating popped up, yeah, it feels like maybe they'll actually come out and say, yeah, it's a PS5 launch title. Because I feel Sony's going to have another event soon. They have to reveal the price, and then they have to show off some more games that are apparently coming. And the word is that they're locking up third-party deals all over the place. And I almost wonder if they have something else, maybe like that Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer that's been hinted at and rumored for a while now as a PS5 launch. So I can't imagine it's just Spider-Man for their launch. And I almost wonder if they could release something even first week of December.
We're gonna get Outriders, yay!
I keep forgetting about that game.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about it. But if Demon Souls was there, do you think it would have that big of an impact on the PS5 launch to where everyone's like, well, I guess I got to get that PS5 right now?
I just think it adds another kind of dimension to the launch window, because I mean, most people are going to want to play Spider-Man, right? I mean, that's going to be a big title, but you know, for the diehard, you know, Souls people, they're going to have that ability to play, you know, Demon Souls remake. I mean, it just adds another dimension to, you know, to their launch lineup, and I think it's a pretty big one. You know, I
think it's already going to sell really. I think whether it has it or not, it doesn't matter. It's going to sell out anyway. So like, you know, MVG saying, it just adds another layer for people to pick up and play. But whether it comes out this holiday or it comes out early next year, I mean, to me, it doesn't matter for a game like that, because the PS5 is going to sell extremely well at launch anyway. So
I was going to say, I feel like with Demon Souls, it's kind of a game people already know they want. I don't think it's necessarily a game where you're like, oh, what games are going to be out on the PlayStation? It's like Demon Souls, and they're like, huh, never heard of it. I guess I'll try it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, they've heard about it, or they've known about it. You know what I mean? And they're deciding to go out and
when
buy it.
When it first came out, it was super niche. Like, it was one that you kind of had word of mouth. You would like tell people about it. They go check it out, and some people just outright hated it.
It was so niche. Sony didn't even want to publish it. It was so
true.
I think I've talked about this. I had a friend who imported a Chinese PlayStation 3, and he imported Demon Souls, and he was playing it because it was fully in English day one. You could just literally flip it to English, and he was playing it. I went over to his house, and he was playing this game I'd never seen before. And I was like, what is this? And he's like, bro, this is the sweetest. It's an RPG. It's got lots of swords. It's like an ultra hard Zelda. Do you want to play it? And I went, that sounds like trash. Let's play some Mario Kart. I literally told him no, like, because nobody knew. Nobody had seen it.
So the PS5 launch itself, I think, will be interesting to see if they get something like that out, and then maybe a multiplayer game as well next to it. I say Miss Clicky just said that the new Batman trailer dropped.
Yeah, not even an hour ago.
What to see on that one? We got another Discord question over there, Evan.
Got a couple. They're a little. All right. When you play a game, do you find that you'll have something like on a side screen to be listening to or doing something else? And are there specific games where you do that or not? Like,
it depends on the game. If it's like a very story-driven game, I feel like I have to pay attention to. No, I'll probably have I'll get like the nice headphones out to play it and everything. But if it's a multiple, like if I'm playing like Halo or something, I'll just throw something up over here to like watch or listen to while I'm playing, with some of that audio. Like I'll just like join the audio together so I can watch, or I'll do it on PC here and I can hear it all. So like games like that, multiplayer wise, yes. Or if it's a RPG I'm just grinding at, I'll put something else on. For the most part, like even like Destroy All Humans, I've played through that game a couple times already, and I just got the new one. Even that I put something on because I'm like, I've already played through this game a bunch of times on the original Xbox back in the day. But I think, Evan, you're always watching something. So
always.
Yeah, always. Evan's always multitasking. Got those two monitors over there.
Two.
What about you?
I do that. Well, I'm really big in it. I'm trying to rewatch all of Star Trek. That's my goal for summer, is I'm watching every episode of every season and every series. And so I've been doing a lot of like playing Fall Guys or like farming money in World of Warcraft or something. And I'll actually put that on the big screen, and I'll put my game on the tiny TV, and I'll mostly be watching the TV.
Yeah, it's been something it's something I've done since the Game Boy back in the day when we could do that, sit on the couch with the Game Boy and watch something on TV at the same time. So Toonami usually, but you know. We got another Discord question over there, Evan. I'll go to the super chats here too.
Last one, actually. Do you think Xbox will be able to force PlayStation to reveal their price first by simply playing chicken with the pre-order date, by just getting closer and closer?
they'll get to a point where somebody has to say the pricing, obviously. But if Sony like shows some more games and has something cool like a Demon's Souls at launch, they probably won't care about saying the price then, because they're like, yep, we showed you all this cool stuff, it's $500, and then Microsoft will say, okay, cool, we're $450, and then everyone will just be like, well, okay, what are you launching with, because Halo Infinite's not there anymore.
I honestly can't believe that we're almost into September and we still don't know the price yet. Like,
crazy, right?
If you ask me, and I've mentioned this before, like if you go back and listen to Nate and I talking, I mean, on his show, we were convinced that August was the month where we would get prices and pre-orders, and we're almost into September. We still don't know. So, I mean, how much further can they go before they start announcing it?
I'll tell you this: the longer we go, the more likely a $600 price is. Like,
yeah,
for me, I'm looking at this. I'm like, well, it's not good news if we're waiting this long, right?
I'm still set on the $4.99 price for both. But you're right. If we're like 2 weeks into September and we still don't know what's happening, all of a sudden I may start agreeing with you on that a little, that maybe it's a little more expensive than what we thought, you know?
Yeah, if we get that close, because the word is the Xbox is coming out the first week of November, and then the PlayStation 3 will follow, or the PlayStation 5 will follow the second week. So that would be I think the 6th and then the 13th. That means that in 2 weeks we'll be 2 months away from those systems, or at least the first one launching. And to me, it's like retailers are right now, I have to imagine scrambling right now because they don't know what to do. When we did ordering for like the PS4 Pro back in the day, or even the Xbox One X, they told us the information as it was happening, but that was at E3 like 5 months before it came out. So it was like, oh, cool, not a problem. We'll get the pre-orders in for this then. We're good, because then we open up pre-orders to the customers. Dude, I would hate to be doing gaming retail right now and like no one knows how much these things cost. So it's tough. It's tough. So what do you think? You think they're going to tell us this week? Because this is like the last week of
No, I think it's September. I think it's next month now.
Oh my gosh, this is getting crazy.
Next week's a big week. I mean, we've got Gamescom and rumored Direct.
Yeah, we do have Gamescom, and Call of Duty's going to show.
Yep.
So a lot of things are going to happen this week.
I mean, I get they could announce something at Gamescom, but I doubt it. Doesn't seem like the right platform for it.
Just push that press release on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Release. Let's go over to the super chats here. Symphonic Balance says, good evening. It's starting to feel like next gen consoles would push back into early 2021 if we make it to September without any pricing or dates. We just talked about that. At this point, Microsoft said they're launching in November. They're like, yeah, it's showing up in November. We've seen the controllers that are already in stores with the street date of the 6th. So they're not getting pushed back.
They can't. The investors would literally they go there and overthrow them. Like, they would literally take down the presidents if they did that. There's no way that they would.
What I think might happen with the Series X, it's possible they might cut some of the ordering down, like to push that off to next year. Because like if Halo Infinite launched next to it, I'd say, well, okay, yeah, I mean, you need a bunch of Xboxes, but I don't know now. That's tough, and it sounds like Sony's going to continue ramping up PS5 production. So that's the one thing I can think of, is they push some of the orders off to next year. So
I can see them maybe even. I mean, they want people to buy the X like this, but I can see a lot of people, if they have a good amount of stock, just going with that cheaper option, especially because there is no Halo.
Yes, yeah.
You know, even though it's digital only. That's, I guess, whatever. But I guess PlayStation has a digital only. Like,
apparently,
have a cheaper one too.
Apparently, this S is tiny though. Like, from what people are saying, it's a small box. Like,
why wouldn't it be though? I don't think it would have to be. It have to be small, right?
They don't need the disk drive. It's I assume running cooler. It probably pulls much less power, and
that's one of the leaks I saw that's going around the most, says that the only reason it has any size is the cooling. It's like they're like, yep, it like as long as it's cooled off, they made it as small as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it also the orientation? Like, it's like it's thicker than the PS5.
It's gonna. What are you talking about with the lock card? The Series S doesn't need a disk drive, but the One X or the Series X does. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean the two different versions of the PS5. You know, they're both the same size.
Yes, they're gonna be the same. So. Yeah, they cut down apparently on the Series S that everyone seems to know about, and Microsoft still won't say anything about it. And apparently, the people who are testing it are walking around with them being inside of Xbox One S cases to hide it. So it's smaller than a 1S, basically, is what we're trying to get at. It's just sure.
All this
Xbox One
secrecy, man. All this secrecy. Just get it out there. Come on, let's go. We're ready.
But we just talked about the price, MBG. They can't announce it until they're ready to say the price, because the Series S makes no sense unless they tell us the price.
Yeah, they can't. True. They can't get undercut. Like, they don't want to get undercut again. Like, that screwed them for last gen and all that stuff. So I understand why they're being very tentative with the, or hesitant with the prices and all that. And maybe, you know what? Maybe they're trying to do their best to make it as low as possible. Maybe they still don't know themselves exactly where they can price it at, exactly where it can be priced at for both models of each, because they got there's 4 systems total. Dude,
they did that hot chip stuff, and it sounds like that chip isn't cheap inside that Series X. So the way they were talking about it, I was like, maybe this is a $600 system.
It might be 600, because I think they're going to bank on maybe the $300 one, and that just being the Game Pass, because they can make a ton of money if people just buy that and Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
So and then the enthusiasts can buy the super powerful one or whatever. But man, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see exactly what the split is for games, how worse the performance is compared to what people are expecting for a next gen system.
MBG, I was looking at the slides. It sounds like AMD was with Microsoft. We're just not getting the number of chips that were at a certain level that they they were probably. It sounded like they were binning a lot, just putting a lot.
The yields, it sounded like it was a low percentage. It's interesting.
And we still need to know about AMD's video cards for everything's all messed up this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, I was watching a Digital Foundry video about this, and they were talking about how the last time, with the launch of the PS4 and the Xbox One, they were already, testing games, pre-release, to make content on, that Microsoft and Sony were basically giving out test kits for them to start testing games and getting their content ready to go, and they're just so confused now because they don't have anything. They're just in the dark as what everyone else is. No one knows what's going on with these systems.
Evan Reeves asks, any thoughts on Yoshinori Ono leaving Capcom? There's some rumors flying around about this too, by the way. There are some rumors that like they messed up Street Fighter 6 or so. It's all over the place right now. So
yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me considering Street Fighter 5 and that thing that's called Street Fighter 5. God, Street Fighter 5 is bad. I really dislike that game. From watching competitively, I really dislike it. I don't like that game. But I mean, yeah, I can see. I mean, he did have a nervous breakdown a few years back. I don't know if you guys remember what happened there, where he fainted at work and he had to be rushed to the hospital. So there was that instance. I mean, there's a lot of toxicity, I guess, within the fighting game community, and them kind of spewing hate towards him too, some of the fans and stuff like that. He's kind of been on the the bad end of a lot of jokes.
He's been there for a long time. Maybe it's just time to retire. Maybe it's you know what?
He's been there for 30 years, 20 plus 30 years. So I mean, I think it's just time for him to really kind of just retire or move on to something else.
And that's what I thought. As not a super hardcore Capcom internal person, to me it looked like it was just all right, I have enough money to retire. I'm done. I'm fine.
Yeah. Let's see. A-List Gaming says, does anyone know why there's a toy car in Ghost of Tsushima? Short video on my channel, or am I the only one who noticed?
It's referencing all the PS4 games. There's a toy car, there's a Horizon, there's a Death Stranding reference at the very end when you beat the game, and after the credits.
Yep.
There's a little table. It's got all those references. I think it's supposed to reference, I would assume, Forza or something.
Yeah. Gran Turismo.
Yep. Gran Turismo. Okay, makes sense.
Fun.
I don't play those games. I don't know. So
they were just having fun call outs to other studios that they essentially work with at Sony.
Yeah.
So, Remy says, would you make G-Boy for fans, and how much? No, I don't really want to make another one of those. Those G-Boys, they take a long time to make.
Turned out good though, man. That's a good video.
I still need to finish up the Wii side of it, and once I close it, I'm never opening anything again unless the battery explodes. That's it. Fair. It's closed and that's it. But it's pretty cool. It is very strange to see GameCube games in what looks like a Game Boy. It is very weird. So pretty cool. So I have another Game Boy thing with the Raspberry Pi that I'm gonna do soon too. But The G-Boy turned out pretty well. I think it's good for anyone who wants to try their hand at it that has like moderate soldering skills. So, and you have to have really good like at least or magnifying glasses, because some of that magnet wire is like tiny and you're just soldering to like all these little points on the board. You should try it, MVG. It's actually pretty fun.
I might give it a go one day.
Yeah, cutting up the board is the weirdest part. Like you actually like hacksaw the Wii motherboard up. Is very weird, but it still works. So
I don't know if I'll ever get used to doing that though.
It is very strange because they're like, oh, just rip all these components off and then saw through the motherboard. So it's pretty funny. You rip off capacitors all over the place and everything, but it still works. So this is from James saying, please have Dreamcast guy rate the cringe in today's DC Fandom stream on a scale of 1 to 10 with his legendary game rating voice inflection.
All right. What's up, gamers? Creamcast guy here. Today we're going to be rating that cringe. It's a big old 7 out of 10 because it was a lot of filler, not a lot of content, and I just think that those CGI trailers weren't great. We'll get to Gotham, though. I think Gotham Knights is interesting.
Okay. All right. Very good. Then Cinnamon the Hacker says we need a category for best non-game of the year award. Animal Crossing versus Flight Simulator. Console Gamer says, thanks again, Evan, for the Avatar and Avatar and Banner, my dude. I know
did a bunch of branding stuff. Yeah.
Yay.
Okay. I only know we saw a cinematic for the Suicide Squad game, but not really a fan of the idea of it. I like it because it's different right now, but yes, it sounds like the gameplay and stuff. It's not coming out 2022, so they have a while to tell us more about it. But I like the idea. It's different at least. Jason says, keep up the good work, guys. Been watching for about a year. Evan says, anybody know what's going on with Rune Factory 5?
There could be some information on that soon.
Tokyo Game Show coming up too. There's a lot of stuff coming up. Maybe before that. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. Jar Jar says, what game would you guys like to see brought back or remastered for next gen systems? Maybe like the Demon's Souls kind of thing, like that kind of take on it.
I mean, I still have to say the rest of the Grandia games are still kind of stuck in obscurity. There's a lot of Grandia games that are good, like Grandia Extreme and Grandia 3. I would love to see those get a more in-depth remake. Or as we already hit, Final Fantasy VI is in a weird spot. We got so many 3D remakes of the early games. Mm-hmm. The later games are getting some remakes. 6 now is the one that has just been skipped over the most, literally.
Some say the best Final Fantasy of all time.
Yeah, a lot
some
of people
would say is the best Final Fantasy game of all time. I like it's between 7 and 6. Those are my 2 favorite Final Fantasy games of all time.
Hey,
so
if they don't mess it up, I'll push that game to the moon if they announce it.
Whoa, hold on. What about the obvious choice, Metal Gear Solid 4?
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
You can't play that game anymore.
That's a good one.
They'll never remake that. They'll never. Konami will never give Kojima the credit that he would obviously get if they remade that game.
If Konami is that spiteful, wouldn't it be better for them to remaster that and have some kind of dig at Kojima in the game?
But they wouldn't. They're just gonna say screw. They're done. They're done with. They're not done with Metal Gear, but they're done with Kojima. They're done with anything with Kojima.
They're currently working real hard with Metal Gear Survive and all that.
Dude, they copyright claim freaking Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes if you put the Kojima the title.
Yeah,
they copyright claim that, dude.
Yes.
That's how spiteful they are. You can play the game and they won't. But they'll if you have the title of Kojima's name, they will copyright
that scene in the elevator where he's going up and it flashes. Yeah, I've been pinged for that before.
That
Me too.
Wow.
But you can play though. Like if you want just the gameplay, they'll let you. You know, it won't copyright that. But that title with his name, copyright it.
Yeah,
like, that's how spiteful they are, dude.
So weird. It really is. I'm gonna say Prince of Persia: Sands of Time because it's come up recently. So do a remake, remaster of that, bring it up. That'd be cool.
What about that 2008 Prince of Persia? What about that one?
that one can stay in 2008.
That one can stay. All right.
Do you think they're doing the Sands of Time trilogy, or do you think they're doing the original Prince of Persia game, the 2D side scroller?
Because I really would like to see Sands of Time. They're going to remake the first one.
Yeah.
The rumor right now, based off of like some of the stuff that's out there, is that it's the trilogy, the 6th generation trilogy. It's that one.
Are you sure? Oh,
that's what the rumors are saying. That's what everything that I've researched back
in before a remake of the movie game.
I'm trusting you, OJ.
That's what the rumors said. The rumors say it's that one. It's Sands of Time, it's Warrior Within, and then it's the other one.
Two Thrones, whatever.
Ubisoft likes to disappoint me, so there.
And then what's his Jason Schreier? Max's favorite person on Twitter.
Yes.
I haven't seen this tweet in 2 years.
Max's favorite person on Twitter. I'll DM you all of his tweets. Don't worry. Max, I got your back.
Can you
Screenshot it.
CC,
Thank you,
can
bro.
you CC me on that, please?
Yeah, no problem. It's a block party in here. You guys getting blocked. The camera. Yeah, he says that it's that retailers like to leak. Yeah, he backed it up. He said that retailers like to leak. You know,
my concern is it's just the original one from like the Apple II or something. And
Hey, man, that's a great game. Bring that back.
The super rare. Did y'all ever see Prince of Persia Tactics on the DS? They made a Final Fantasy Tactics knockoff. It's awful.
I didn't play that.
I didn't play that.
Okay.
Is it bad? It
Yes,
looks like
it's garbage. It's a dumpster fire. Some would say.
Dragonheart says Edward Cullen as Batman epic fail. Rocksteady wanted to make Superman game next, but WB Interactive
Snap off on that comment, but no, not worth my
Superman
time.
Evil in Suicide Squad game epic fail.
I got Twilight as Batman, bro.
Who gave idiots computers?
This man about to bite somebody. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm good. All right, I'm done.
Dr. Claw says, I think Sony and Microsoft are playing chicken. My prediction is that whoever announces first is getting undercut by $50 or $100.
I mean, not wrong, right?
It could happen.
Could happen.
Nate's so important. Yeah.
Nate's still not here. Okay. I guess Nate's just not showing up. Okay, that's fine. Let's go over to the. Actually, Max, you have to step out.
Yeah, I do. Thanks so much, everybody.
What'd you think of Gotham Knights?
I actually think it's cool, but I want to see how the game works. I've read the comic it's based on, which is called Court of Owls, and it's interesting. It's a very Batman-centered thing. It's Batman and the Bat family going against a league of assassins. I'm kind of curious how they're going to do the game because it looks like Batman's kind of faking his death or something. We'll see. I'm super curious.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before. Maybe it's on the other side of what that story was. It could be interesting.
Yeah. The biggest thing is, the last thing I'll say as I run out the door, the fact that it's a co-op Batman game, it immediately gets 10 times cooler to me because of that. We got to do one of us on the SpawnCast, we're beating that game co-op.
What if it's like Battletoads and there's no online co-op?
Suddenly I hate it and it's garbage.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
they said it's online and offline. Yeah,
dude. If there was couch co-op only, I would. All right, I'm out of here. Much love, y'all. All right.
Later.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll just move to these direct rumors because Nate's just not here. I guess.
Nate
all right.
played hooky on us. I wore his shirt.
This was the day.
What if he's sleeping?
This was the night for him to be here too.
I feel
Maybe he's hiding on purpose.
No. He might be.
Doesn't want to be questioned. He knows too much.
He knows too much. He was supposed to be here to talk to us about these direct rumors because he's been hinting at them and messing around with people on different forums.
Maybe the ninjas got him. Oh no.
They might have. I haven't heard from him in a while now. I think about it.
Chat.
might be
They
gone.
got him.
He's been teasing people on forums, man. He's been all over the place. So direct Friday, the 28th is the word. Nintendo Direct. Well, some kind of Nintendo event is on Friday. Jeff Grubb mentioned this on a podcast. He did mention, though, and I still think this is very likely, that it might not just be a general direct, that it could just be some sort of what we have the third party showcase. We've had that
partner showcase.
We had a partnership. We had an indie direct
mini.
We had all mini. So like the problem I think we run into is a lot of these rumors end up being true. Like when Jeff Grubb mentioned that there'd be a direct that was in March, he was correct, but it technically wasn't a general. It was a mini, and then we hear oh, there's some other direct coming up. It's a partner showcase. Oh, there's something coming up. It's the Indie World. Like people are naming these events correctly, but it's not a general direct like everyone's hoping it would be.
Yeah,
So-
and I think the Friday thing or the next week thing is. I mean, I read Jeff's tweets today, and he was saying, well, not specifically direct, but something is happening next week. I think is kind of the word, right? We don't know what it's going to be. I mean, if it's going to be the Mario stuff, I mean, I don't think it's going to be just a Twitter drop because I mean, Mario's way too big for that. But yeah, I mean, we don't really know what it will.
I'll say Nate's not here. So I'll just say that he's been saying Nate was teasing the 28th last week. Like he's been teasing it for like a week now. He's been just messing with people on forums all over the place about this thing. Okay, he has a lot of different aliases, by the way. People, no one knows these things. He has a lot. Okay, he's messing with everyone out there. Okay, so don't let him fool you. But he's been teasing the 28th for a little while now. It seems, and a few others. Also, Jeff, of course, mentioned it, and it got picked up. I do think some the news places just said Jeff Grubb says General Direct Friday, and if you go through and listen and read what he was saying, it wasn't that. Like you're saying, G, he was saying Nintendo appears to be doing something this week. I think it could be something like a direct. But a lot of times people may hear about these events, but they don't know exactly what's in it, and they don't know if it's a big first party thing or if it's third party thing, and then speculation and mixes with predictions and rumors.
I mean, the other thing you can't rule out is they may come out next week and say, stay tuned, we are going to announce our plans for the 35th anniversary of Mario. That could be the announcement, right? We don't know what what it's going to be. So, it could be anything.
A 3D world, that 3D All-Stars. So it's happening, right? It's coming soon.
Yeah. I would just assume it's just a communication from Nintendo in general. Announcement of some sort.
The thing that's throwing me off is they say Friday. I'm like, when was the last time there was like a direct on a Friday? It's been. Do you remember any OJ? There was like a direct that was on, because that's Saturday in Japan, right? Like it's like.
Yeah. Well, it might be to where it's like, I don't know, like Thursday here and then Friday there. I mean, but I don't know. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that either. What they usually do is like super early in the morning, West Coast. So like 6 a.m. And I'm like, oh God, and then, then it's so everybody can watch it, but I don't recall ever there being a Friday direct. But I do trust, Jeff Grubb talked about it in his podcast, and he said that he generally feels, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but this is what, from what I listened to and from what the websites that quoted him said, he said that he generally feels like it's a general direct. He thinks that but he said that he doesn't like its possibility that it could be a partner because Nintendo said it's a series, so just something is coming up. So everyone's saying, oh well, we get one every single month and this and that. Jeff Grubb's been, the problem is that people just take anything that anybody says and then say, oh well, everybody does that. No. Jeff Grubb's been right with a lot of stuff that he said. Nate's been right with what he's saying. So please separate them, guys. Stop lumping these guys into like everybody. Just Bob Evans on what was it, 4chan? Stop lumping them in, guys. Please.
Hey, I'm leaking stuff on 4chan.
Yeah, no, you're
Spawn Leak. I saw you on there.
Spawn Leak. Stop lumping everybody in there because like that's just disrespectful in my opinion. So Jeff Grubb's been right. So give him his credit for being right on his stuff. So don't lump him in there, guys, with everybody else, please. So
justice for Jeff.
Yes. Because people are saying, oh well, there's been one every single month. Like I don't believe. It's like, well, wait a minute, Jeff Grubb's been right. So hold up here. Like don't be sitting there and like just writing him off just because you don't think it's real. That's fine. But he's saying what he knows. Like so that's what he's saying.
I think Nintendo's going to do something this week, but I'm honestly unsure as to what. It's just a weird year for everyone. So like Nintendo included, they're trying to navigate this whole thing. So you're right. They could just show up and say, hey, Mario 3D All-Stars or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Mario 3D All-Stars is real. Here it is. It's coming out in like a few months or something, or it's coming out next month or something.
And it's during Gamescom too, right? So Gamescom will be going on at the same time, right?
Yes. So
remember last year when Sony announced they bought Insomniac and they just dropped that bomb? Yep. I mean, this would be
hold on. Let me ask you a question here, okay? If Nintendo announces the direct, right? Let's say they announce it on like Wednesday. Does Jeff go, "Hey guys, it's part of Summer Games Fest"?
No.
I noticed Jeff doing this, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's clever. Okay,
I'm all in for it.
Just become part of Summer Games Fest. We're still in phase 1 though, right?
We're in phase 1.
Are we really?
Waiting on phase 2.
It's all over the place too. It's on the fly.
Well, once the Avengers game comes out, then we move on to phase 2, right? That's how it works.
Fall Guys is gonna have its season 2 before phase 2. It's gonna be great.
Is it going off seasons? Is like just new courses every so often? That's pretty.
No,
cool.
just new loot.
Well, that's
maybe
boring.
some more
I want
stuff.
new courses.
Well, they're probably adding stuff.
Yeah, they better.
So, and then there's also that very odd meeting that's coming up mid-September. It's like September 16th or something, where they're going to just have some sort of meeting about management structure or something. Again, strange stuff happening at Nintendo right now. I think something will happen this week, though, is what I'll say. So I don't know if it's going to be a stream, a trailer drop, a Twitter announcement, a press release. Something's probably happening this week. So we'll see. We'll see. Evan, you said we're out of Discord questions, right?
Yeah, we got through 'em.
Also, if Nate shows up here, we'll ask him about it. But I think Nate's just going to say what he's been saying, which is like, yeah, Nintendo Directs are happening. That's what he said on Twitter. Nintendo Directs are happening. I guess we can go through some of the stuff that would be there, right? So there would be No More Heroes would have to get some sort of date or release window there. That's probably next year, by the way. That's not. I don't think No More Heroes 3 is coming out this year. It's already
it's I think it's 2021. Yeah.
I think it could be a January or February game. 3D World Deluxe, that probably is also that's probably a January game.
Yeah, 3D World Deluxe, I feel like will probably push to not push because it's not delayed, but I think it would be a January, maybe a February game for them.
I almost wonder if Need for Speed would be there if they did third-party stuff, because Need for Speed Hot Pursuit's getting a remaster. Apparently that's gonna be on the Switch as well. Trying to think of anything else big would be there that's already been talked about other than the Mario 3D stuff.
Bravely Default 2 would probably be there as well.
That's interesting too, because we haven't really seen much about that, and that's still supposed to be coming this year, right? Like they haven't like announced or anything about like.
Well, we had a demo that we were a playable demo, so that was cool.
Yeah, but I mean, like Tony Hawk's coming.
But I mean, like, Tony Hawk. I mean, that's supposed to be showing up on the Switch too at this rate.
I mean, eventually there's controls for it, right?
Yeah, they had those images that data miners found that at first it was like, it showed the Joy-Con and the grip, right? And I was like, that could be on like Steam or something, sure. But then it just showed the Switch in handheld mode. And it's like, well, okay, yeah, I guess it is going to the Switch. And if you play the demo, did you play the demo, Jordan?
No, I didn't.
It's Unreal Engine. It's like on the PS4, it's Unreal Engine 1080p, 60 frames per second. You put it on the Switch, a lot of times we see they cut the frame rate in half and it's fine.
Yeah.
Like that's what they'll do. They'll just take it. Okay, now it's 30 frames. Here you go.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite iteration of Tony Hawk 2, well, other than 2X on the Xbox, would be the Dreamcast version of Tony Hawk 2, which was only 30 FPS, but it was incredible. So, I mean, 30 frames per second on the Switch, I'll take it.
And I guess the last big one is, do they start their Zelda stuff soon too in this direct? Do they go anything with Skyward Sword, since that listing popped up and everyone freaked out when that showed up?
If you ask me, and look, every time I've predicted something, it's gone completely wrong. So don't take this with any level of of honesty or whatever. But I think they're probably going to leave Zelda out of this because I think this is going to be Mario focused.
Sure.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
Next year is going to be the year for people with Zelda. That's what we'll say. Next year is going to be something else with that.
I think maybe at the Game Awards they'll tease something with Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, maybe.
They did that for the DLC for Breath of the Wild, so I would not hold it past them.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll hear anything about Zelda in this one. Yeah, I think this is Mario.
They also actually showed off the gameplay of Breath of the Wild at the Game Awards. So that was also the thing. When Breath of the Wild was 2014, after that E3, Miyamoto and Anuma were in that room. That was the Game Awards, if I'm not correct, right? So where they're running around like with Link on the horse and like he jumped off, like that was the Game Awards. That was like a video at the Game Awards in 2014, I think. So they have a long history of doing stuff at the Game Awards with Zelda
Smash character too. Still need another Smash character, OJ.
Yeah, Smash character. I think we're gonna see something on that soon because there's gonna be at least one more character before the end of the year, obviously.
Apparently Nate said that's gonna make people cry, so it's probably another Fire Emblem character. I
think he might have been teasing like Dante, Devil May Cry.
Dante would be cool. That would make sense at least. Have Dante or Travis Touchdown.
They're done with. I can tell you right now, they are done with Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah.
What about Metroid? What about Metroid?
They got Ridley. They're done.
Yeah.
No. At the direct, is there going to be any Metroid?
Oh,
Prime Trilogy? No, they're going to save Prime Trilogy for like 10 years from now just to mess with me. It'll come out like the Switch.
Stop.
That'd be cool. No, I think Prime Trilogy is show closer to when 4 is ready to go.
Yeah.
But I mean, they could do that. There's that 2D Metroid that's been talked about a lot. They could start. I almost wonder how many games they'll show for 2021 if they do something like a general direct in the next week or two. If they would really start talking about 2021 like that, or if they would just have a primary focus now and have a direct in January like normal. So that's as long as they have a game for January, they can have a direct then in January and wait till then. So like 3D World Deluxe might be the January game. And then,
I would say it's 3D World Deluxe.
yeah, and then No More Heroes 3 could be a February game. So although shouldn't they put out No More Heroes 1 and 2 before you do 3, because that's rumored to come out too. So
yeah, they probably will. I mean, if they might drop one and 2 this year, then
you know what?
Yeah, I feel like that can drop whenever.
1 and 2 might just be all digital. They might just go digital with that, not even do a copy of it. So that could come out in October. That could come out in November. They could just drop it.
Well, I guess for the No More Heroes, it would depend on who handles the publishing. I guess if Nintendo would handle it, I think they'd probably have a physical edition of the game if Nintendo handles it. But if it's not, I don't think Gung Ho would do it. But I mean,
what if
Nintendo would take care of it?
What if? Because I know that there was a lot riding on that that No More Heroes game, pseudo game that came out like last year, right?
Yes.
And I don't think that game did well enough in sales for them to justify the No More Heroes 3, even though they're still making it. So what I think what would be cool to see them do to see if they can actually make sure they can bank on sales for the third game is that if you pre-order or purchase in general or whatever, you get 3, you get the download codes for 1 and 2 digitally on the Switch. So it's like, hey, you're getting 3, but you get all of them for this price.
I almost wonder if they would go. I mean, that would be nice. I don't know if they would do it, but that would be cool if they had some kind of.
How big? Like, I like No More Heroes. I know other people like it, but like, is it that big of a
an
IP?
It's not that big of an IP, but I don't think that they would give away, because like that would actually take some work to get No More Heroes 1 and 2 on especially 2, because 2 is not on any HD platforms. 1 is, so 1 wouldn't be too hard because they have Paradise that's already on the PS3 and 360, but 2 is only on the Wii. So they'd have to do some work to get that done. So I don't know if they want to give that away to people, but I see what you're saying though, Jordan. I see what you're saying though. I want it. Get 1 and 2 for free.
Yeah,
I could see them doing something, Jordan, where if you have played those on your Switch, you get something in 3, like get some cool gear, or you get some money, or just something to help you out in the game. I could see there definitely would be some sort of tie-in, I would assume, if it comes out first before 3. Definitely. Let's see. Evan did say that we are all done with our Discord questions, so let's go over here we'll go to Gotham Knights. Did you guys watch DC Fandom, and did you see the Gotham Knights stuff?
I saw all of it, the trailer and the game and the gameplay video with the developer.
All right, so this is we've been talking about the Bat Family game for a while now. It is interesting. Evan, you're more familiar with the comic series that this is based on, right?
Specifically this story arc, yeah.
Okay, so what can you explain, set the stage for the beginning of the comic series?
It goes back to like the detective side of things with Batman. He's trying to figure out what's going on, and eventually this court comes together, which is made up of basically aristocrats and secret just people in the city who hate the fact that he's doing what he's doing, and they're trying to take back the city from him. And at one point in the story, some crazy stuff. Like, I don't know how spoilery I want to go, because I kind of have an idea on what's going on, because I think from the trailer they made it sound like Batman's gone, right? Like
he's dead. Yeah, that was the idea. He was sending messages to. They had Robin, Red Hood,
I'm dead.
Nightwing, and
if you're seeing this, I am no longer alive.
God, like that's the trick with the spoiler side of things, because this has happened twice in this kind of thing.
So are they finishing the case for him?
Yeah, they're in the comic book. He vanishes for a bit because they trap him in a labyrinth where he survives for a few weeks, drinking drug-laced water that drives him insane. And while that happens, like the Bat Family has to keep Gotham safe because shit's just going down. So that's the whole story arc.
It's coming out next. It's called Gotham Knights. Coming out next year, PS4, PS5, Windows PC, Xbox One, Series X, and it's going to be playable solo or in co-op. OJ, you mentioned that they did say online co-op as well. So
I don't know if they confirm local, so I don't. There might not be, but they did say single player. You can play through the whole story single player, or you can play through online co-op. I don't know if there's offline. But
I'm curious if they'll have cross-play with it as well. So we'll see with that. But apparently it's open world Gotham City, and they did confirm that it's Court of Owls seems to be the main antagonist group for this. But it appears like we have experience bars. We got numbers popping up when you're hitting stuff. They show play for it, and I mean, for what they showed, it didn't look bad or anything. I thought, just from the small amount they showed, it looked fun. I'm more curious about how long the game is and how much the experience bars and equipment, all the stuff, influence the game as you play through. Because they showed Mr. Freeze, and they said that the enemies will change and get stronger as you get stronger as well. So I guess you can't necessarily grind and become just significantly more powerful than any of the people you fight as you go through. So like the enemies will scale with you. Visually though, I thought it looked pretty good. Did anyone look at that and really think it looked super next gen?
It looked like it was definitely running on a high-end PC. I mean, that's what it looked like to me. But like
not debug.
Not a debug. It looked like a high-end piece, like the lighting and everything like that, like the detail, the textures,
Particle
everything
effects
looked
on
like
the lightning strikes was pretty good. So
yeah, exactly. Everything looked so. It looked like they were definitely running on like the highest end, thing that they can get it on. But I mean, like, a lot of diminishing returns. I mean, there's a lot of games that look good, at this point. But that one definitely looked really, like, the open world looked fantastic.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I thought it looked cool. The only thing that I'm a little worried about is that the team that made Arkham Origins, that's the just can't fit.
That's true. Hey, maybe they got a little better, got some more time on this. They've been teasing this game forever.
It's been a while. I mean, I think their last Batman game with Arkham Origins was what, 20.
It's been a bit. They made that
for a while, yeah.
Wii U even. So
14, 20. When was that game? I don't even remember when that game was, but it was it's been a long time. It's been since they've made a Batman game. So I mean, we'll see how it works. And like this whole co-op thing, like, I like it, but then I'm like, okay, but how is it going to be? Like, do you need to play? Is it going to be like the preferred? Like, it's single player too, but it's like, okay, well, if you play co-op, you get this, and this.
If the characters scale based on your level anyway, it's probably just a scaling balance depending on how many people are in.
Is it going to be that weird thing in in the story where you're playing and they don't necessarily account for the person you're playing with? So it's like it's always single player, but then they tack the person on, so it goes to cutscene and it's just you and the enemy. But you're the person you're playing with is technically there, like
most
it's not
likely. I mean, they'll probably have them in a cutscene where like they know that if you're playing with someone, they'll be in the background just standing there. Maybe they'll have some exposition, but
yeah, I'm looking forward to see more about it. And it's coming out next year. I'm curious if it's early next year or late next year.
I do want to put out a disclaimer just for some people in the chat here. Okay, by the way, I'm a big Batman Arkham fan. Like, I've played and beat all of them. Okay, so I'm not saying that Batman Arkham Origins is horrible. It's just, to me, it's on the lower end of the Batman Arkham games. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, I think that Batman Arkham Asylum,
they're not as good as what Rocksteady put together.
Yeah, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. I do like it maybe more than Batman Arkham Knight. I really don't like Batman Arkham Knight that much, but I'm talking about comparing it to everything. Overall, by itself, it's a good game. They're all good. It's just, I'm just putting it in like the scope of how good those games are.
Origins isn't even close to like a City or Asylum. Those are like the two best series. Yeah,
they're not bad games. Like Arkham Knight and Arkham Origins they're not bad games. It's just compared to Asylum, like the feeling that you got when you first played Asylum, and then City to me was like
City was
best games. Yeah, best games ever made. Like that's one of my favorite games ever made is Arkham City. So. And I just didn't think it was as good as that. That's all.
Let's go over. I guess we'll go over to Indie World. Oh, actually, no. You know what? We did see this was happening as we were about to go live, but we can quickly talk about it. Did you guys see the Suicide Squad trailer that they showed?
Yeah, quite a bit of it.
Okay. What do you guys think? Because they just showed that cinematic, right? Like they didn't show gameplay or anything. It's not till 2022.
Yeah, it's not coming out for a while.
We're 2 years off. That's what I was thinking when I did the initial thoughts on it when they first showed the teaser. I was like, I'm pretty sure this game is 2022. It's a while, but the initial, which by the way, that means that Rocksteady is going to go. I mean, this is going to be like a 7, almost 8 year dev cycle on this game. Yeah, that's quite a while. Then
crazy to think about, isn't it? But I mean, I wonder if do we know is this exclusive next gen game or is this we don't know that yet.
This is just next gen.
Yeah. So
I'm pretty confident.
I'm wondering if they've just undergone, that mid-cycle, that end of generation transition where they're like, whoa, we've been working on this game for so long, now we got to target in the next generation. So, they've just had to retarget everything to the PS5 and the Series X.
The word was that the game Suicide Squad was like canceled at one point, and then they brought it back. So I don't know if they had a different vision in mind like years ago or something, because they kind of explain what it was and kind of not when they were talking about it. I don't know. To me, they weren't as clear on it, but I liked the initial cinematic trailer. I liked the direction of it. I think the characters were, I mean, they were fine. Like I was watching, I was like, yeah, okay, that's Suicide Squad. And they show Superman just vaporize a dude in front of him, and it's like, all right, who's
okay?
Is he evil?
I have a question on your opinion on this though, because to me, I kind of, maybe it's just like Suicide Squad is not as overdone as Avengers and stuff, but like I kind of get the same vibes of like characters we've seen like established already, and like now they're like in a game, but like they're different characters, but they're the same character. Like, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, I almost kind of wish like it was completely different characters of a completely, like, I like the Bat family aspect, you know, like that's new. Suicide, I can't speak. I don't know. I just like, part of me is like, the game is really going to have to stand out, because to me, like, I'm still kind of getting the same like Avengers kind of thing where it's like, all right, well,
we just need to see more. I think it's just way too early to.
I think
tell,
this, like the Suicide Squad, if you really like I think they just have a lot of personality to them. So maybe they're just like, they just overdid them a bit in the trailer they showed. But I don't know, something about just their chemistry and stuff. I was like, yeah, I get it. This looks like just a bunch of random villains they threw together, and they're like, go kill Superman, and then Superman shows up, and you can tell that they're like, oh wait, that's actually Superman, and then they cut it. So we do have to see a bit more though. I will say, yeah, you're right. I really need to see what the game is exactly though, because the word was games as a service, so we'll see.
It's confirmed.
It had that vibe to it, right?
That was the word ahead before it, and I'm like, but
it also talked about a single player campaign or something, so it was a little not confusing, but it was just a little vague about what style of game it will be. But I think overall, you know, I'm interested in seeing more about what it has to offer. Looked pretty cool.
I think they should have reversed it. They should have let Rocksteady make the Batman family game, and then let those developers make the Suicide Squad. They should have reversed it, man.
They probably had Rocksteady was probably feeling a little stagnant, maybe, and they were like, "Look, we give you guys 3, give us something different." They were like, "How about Suicide Squad?" And
or like, if they would have just like made like let's just say like Nightwing and like just like a Nightwing game, and then like
they should have just tackled that Superman game. Put out an actual good Superman.
It was probably too hard, man. Like, from what I understand, making a Superman game is tough, right?
I mean,
he's so strong.
Yeah, he's the epitome of like the perfect character already.
Something crazy where he loses all his powers. Pull like a Metroid Prime or something.
Oh god!
Something happens and you lose all your powers. I don't know.
He like finds out he's got like kryptonite in his back pocket and he didn't know the whole time. Like, it's just something stupid like that.
Something where he got stabbed in the head with kryptonite or something, and then he just
freaking kryptonite unicorn.
They give him the Metal Gear horn.
I would buy that game. Pre-order confirmed. Let's go.
There you go. See.
Well, just like the Apocalypse War, they inject the kryptonite into his veins, so he's basically a human being.
I guess it's true.
They could. I think if they really wanted to, they could have figured it out. But they're still going to do a Superman. And what's cool is because it's the Justice League, we're going to see Rocksteady's take on Superman, Green Lantern, probably Martian Manhunter, Cyborg, all of the characters. You know, we'll see there. So that'll be fun to see. Wonder Woman, see what their take is on that. And then we have to figure out how the Suicide Squad manages to kill every member of the Justice League. So apparently that's something that's going to happen. So I have no idea how they're going to do that. Let's go over to some of the super chats here. Dylan says, been a direct rumor each month. It won't happen. I mean, there have been direct rumors, but we've had a lot. How many Nintendo events have we had? Every time these rumors pop up, we get there is some sort of Nintendo event that follows it. Almost the exact day. Like Helios told everybody when that partner showcase was, the exact day. It just wasn't a direct necessarily.
Maybe it's better that Nate's not here because he'd be getting ranty right now, I think.
Yeah, well, Nate would just, probably right. Nate would make it on the SpawnCast clips again.
Would have to do a part 2 clip of his first rant.
Piano solo.
The Frozen Gamer says, recently played both Other M and Metal Gear Solid for the first time. The former had a trash story treatment of Samus' character, but was still pretty good gameplay.
There we go.
The ladder holds up better than expected.
A decade later, people still bitching about this.
I will fight. I will cut a man about Other M. Yo, we gotta. That's a whole other discussion.
Other M is a good game. Other M is a good game. I like it.
Well, he said the game was good. He just said that the story, the characterization of Samus is not good.
No.
Gaming Forte says, great show, guys. At the start of last generation Xbox and PlayStation releases, first party controllers 1 day early of system release. Yeah, that's I think we'll see the Series X the first week of November. I think you're right on that.
Yeah.
Shinru says, sorry I'm late. Hope you all are okay. Random question: Battle Royale, Sora, Link, Cloud, or Geralt? Who's winning this fight?
Sora, Link, Cloud, or Geralt?
Geralt, yeah.
Geralt's getting his ass kicked. First of all, he's the number one guy that's out.
I mean, I don't know. It's you could get in all freaking debates, dude. Would the Master Sword even work on the other ones? I don't even know if the Master Sword would work on them.
It would be. I mean, how much gear does Link have? You know, like
he doesn't have a lot. I mean, technically, if you're gonna go off of Smash logic, Link could still fight them, but technically lore based, it's only supposed to be against evil people. You know, like they're not really evil.
Yeah, but you can't always. So I mean, I would probably say like maybe tough. Cloud or Sora. Keyblade is pretty. Keyblade's pretty OP.
I mean, yeah, if you get those teacup rides and everything, sure, I'd give up my fight. Like, let me wait for your cutscene.
There was a death battle between that the guys did between Cloud and Link, and I think Link. They said that Link would win that one. So I don't know. Maybe that's some.
The Link from Spirit Track's gonna beat.
Run him over with the train, man. Sword versus a train. I wonder who wins, man.
I'm just picturing Sora just beating these people with like a blunt, like Keyblade.
Sora is extremely.
He's got Donald and Goofy, man. Come on,
dude. Sora is extremely powerful though. Like Sora is extremely, really powerful. So I mean,
power of friendship, man.
You don't know the power of the Keyblade? Power of the Keyblade.
I know. It's just friendship, man. Gets me.
Ice says, have anyone solved a Rubik's Cube before? If so, any tips? All I know is the center square color is the color for that side.
I'm sure don't give up. There's a YouTube video that will explain it.
There's a YouTube video that make you feel real dumb because there are people who like solve it with one hand in like 10 seconds.
You peel off all the colors and then re-put them on. There you go. Yeah. Saved you the trouble.
Ben says my video game fantasy is something I'm not going to read on stream.
Good job.
Sokar says they will remake Street Fighter the movie, the game for you. Karen says good to see you guys. Shadow of Nexus says remake Dragon Ball Evolution PSP on Switch.
Jesus. He's being a troll like he's always been. Like that might be the worst game of all time. Like right up there, like with the ET. You know?
Rex says Black Myth Wukong. Did you guys see the trailer for that? The game. It looked good. Like that's apparently like an indie studio in China, and that looked good. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked by how good it looked. That's on Unreal Engine, by the way. Apparently, they had to learn Unreal Engine to make that game. So
yeah, and like that wolf thing, like jumped on the roof or whatever, and was like looking back at you. I was like, "Oh, chills."
Yeah, it was good. The thing is, that's like 13 minutes. Yeah, when they're blocking the arrows, that was really good. That's 13 minutes, and I guess it's supposed to come out years from now. So they apparently are going to start hiring and stuff. But they got a ton of publicity off of that just gameplay they just dropped. So good to see it. And then we have John Collins says, will the next Switch be as powerful as the Series S? I think the next Switch will probably be like base PS4, between base PS4 and PS4 Pro, probably between the two of them, most likely. And then they'll use things like DLSS to get 4K basically on it if they want it.
I agree. I think they're just going to go with like something along the lines of that, and then like the DLSS.
Yeah, that's my thought. What do you think, MVG? You think they'll go like base PS4, maybe a little bit because it's NVIDIA versus AMD, newer tech?
I don't know. I mean,
advanced upscaling techniques.
I wonder if it's going to be a little weaker than that. Like, you know, maybe just I'll say a 30 to 40% improvement in performance over the current iteration of the Switch. I mean, I think if you talk to developers, what the biggest pain point is, you know, loading speed, maybe put in an SSD and
memory
RAM.
bandwidth,
yeah, and RAM. I mean, there's only 4 gigabytes, and that's something that I keep hearing is a bottleneck that developers have to struggle with. So I don't know if it's going to be PS4 speeds, but I think it will be close to PS4 speeds. And I think Nintendo doesn't want to, and they've never focused on performance, right? Like, so I think for me, I would say they're going to take this blueprint that has been so successful for them and just add gradual improvements to each of the areas that need improvements. So DLSS I think is definitely something that they would consider doing, because I mean, you get that visual fidelity for basically for free.
Take like a 720p image and move that thing up.
So why wouldn't you do that? But I also think that they're not going to go crazy with 60 frames per second and all that sort of stuff, trying to target those frame rates. I think it'll just be more of a gradual increase in performance than what we have right now.
And then we have Dragon says Final Fantasy games that deserve Final Fantasy 7 remake treatment: 4, 6, 8, 9, and Tactics. I think Tactics. You know what? Tactics is perfect for the Trials of Mana treatment. I think Tactics would be.
You don't want to break the bank over there at Square Enix, man.
It's also the amount of time. Like it's
the amount of time. Like they don't. Tactics doesn't need that at all. Like, Tactics is a game. It's really strategical. It's really about just more the experience of playing. Yeah. You don't need crazy amount of like fidelity and graphics for that.
Man, I mean, that kind of visual style with Tactics would be legit. I'd be on that right away. And they say, I love Final Fantasy 7 remake, and I can't wait for part 2. Brave Fencer Musashi and Mario RPG remakes. Ooh, Brave Fencer.
Yes,
wow, I forgot about
please. Yes, please. Give me both of those.
Super Mario RPG is still something, in my opinion, is still the best Mario RPG game that I've played. And I've played most of them, pretty much all of them. That's still the best one. To me, the humor, the characters, everything was just perfect. I don't really have anything bad to say about the game outside of that it's kind of easy and that you can only build up to level 30. Those are like my only 2 issues. But playing it back in like 96 when I played it, it was literally the most magical thing that I ever, like, RPG that I've ever played. Man, it was amazing.
I wonder if they ever would strike that deal with Square and make that happen.
I don't know why, because I guess because of the Mario and Luigi series and the Paper Mario series, like, they haven't done it since then.
There's too much money to be made there.
But that was before all of that. That was before Mario and Luigi. That was before all of the Paper Mario. It was before everything. Yeah. So they just never went back to it. Like, after, like, they just never went back to it. But Mario RPG is really good, man. It's so good.
Jordan says you can play Metal Gear Solid 4. It's on PlayStation now. You can stream that.
You can play it, but PlayStation.
You know what? I'll tell you this: if you have a PC that can do it and you run that through RCP, it looks really good. Like,
I was going to say that you can run it at 4K at 60, right? I mean, it looks
if you just have the disc physically, you own it. Go ahead and emulate it. You're good. You're legally in the right. Go do that because it looks awesome. And you know what? If Konami is going to keep doing slot machines all over the place instead of giving us what we want, go emulate it. There you go. Go buy a used copy and emulate it. Mushrock says, is Nate showing up to chat or did he get ninja? You know what? Nate's been saying the 28th. All of a sudden he's gone. So
man, he dipped on us.
He doesn't ever really miss
foil hats.
All of a sudden he's gone after saying 28th this past week. So, I mean, I'll let you draw your own conclusion there. The reject says mini direct was on a Friday, and why don't you call just Nate? Why don't you call just Nate?
Why don't you just call Nate is my guess.
Why don't you just call Nate?
Nate knows where we are. If he wants to jump on, he can.
If he loves us, he will show up.
It's not in the name.
Bob says that Suicide Squad gonna thunderclap Avengers cheeks. Suicide Squad isn't out for years. Like, Avengers will be out in months. So I think there's a chance Suicide Squad will be better, but like by then, Avengers might have been fixed. So
Avengers might be Avengers might be freaking dope by then.
Avengers is going to be anthemed by then.
Oh, wait, what happened to Anthem 2.0? That's still happening, right?
Wait, whatever happened to that? But hold up here, MVG. Square Enix is very confident in saying that they are going to support this game for a long time. Now, I know EA said the same thing too, like with Anthem, but Square Enix is saying like they have confidence behind this game, like in their financial reports or whatever to investors. They said it's a game as a service, and they want to not necessarily focus on just like the upfront sales, but the continued sales. And there are so many promotions and so many like I went to the store and I saw it on gum. It's like you get some Stride gum. There's like DLC. It's on everything. So they're getting all sorts of promotions.
You got the right phone carriers, man. You get some
phone carriers, gum. There's food. There's everything. So they're minimizing the risk of not having a huge launch.
Did they tap into the Butterfingers yet?
no Butterfinger just yet.
Maybe all their money went to
Final Fantasy.
Maybe all their money went to advertisement and not to development.
Well, they're making the money back because they're paying a lot. These companies like the Stride and they're paying a lot to have that advertisement on there. So it's not cheap to do stuff like that. So I think, listen, the game doesn't look good. I'm with you. The game does not look good right now, but there's still a base game in there. That could be a little bit of fun. Like the Black Widow gameplay. I don't know if you guys saw that or used that actually looked pretty cool. Like that looked cool.
They're using that
saying that because she's a girl.
They're using that Spider-Man money on the advertisements.
Fine. The Iron Man gameplay looked kind of cool too. How about that, Cliff?
OJ, you bring up some interesting points, but I think, if it's an investors meeting, you're basically telling them what they want to hear, Like I think the game doesn't have any legs, and no one's even talking about this week, so other than just all the promotional material. So
they'll tell the investors they got the bag for Spider-Man. And
they got the bag for Spider-Man.
Yeah, right.
Spider-Man.
We'll see how it goes. I'm not feeling confident. I think it's going to get anthemed.
I think the reason they're saying that they have all these cool plans going forward is because they have some multi-year deal with like Marvel, and they're like, well, we got to make it work. So let's see what happens. Birdman says, all I want is a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. That's it. Well,
listen,
I think you're going to be a little bit on that one. You know what?
One day.
I think Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out next holiday. I think that's
and I've always said that if they show another trailer, then it needs to have a date on it. Yep. Now, it's it doesn't have to be an exact date, but if it says holiday 2021 or whatever, I don't know. But it's time. It's time to learn when this game's coming out.
It is still possible to kind of recreate 2017 over again. We get a trailer in January and the game in March. It's still possible.
Here's the year.
I have hope.
I mean,
hope.
The year of Zelda, you cap off with Breath of the Wild 2 next holiday, right? You start it with like the port of Wind Waker. Just move that over, and then through the summer you have Skyward Sword. And then maybe you do some kind of collection for fun with like some collabs and stuff with different companies, like, I don't know, Zelda Jeans or something.
Zelda Jeans? What the?
Oh, I'd be down for some. You know what they need? We need.
What OJ wants is fingerless gloves.
They did Levi. They did the Levi thing with Mario. So there you go. There's Zelda stuff too.
We need a
but
collaboration.
Link doesn't wear denim.
No, we need a collaboration. The Jordan.
It's like saying we need Zelda khakis.
I'd buy some tunics. Let's go.
I want some Zelda Levi's. I want some Air Forces. Not Air Forces. Those are too heavy. Some Air Jordan 1s, like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Air Jordan 1s, I'd be down. I can't
wait till Breath of the Wild 2 comes out and you're playing the game on stream and you open a chest and it's just like some nice cargo shorts from like Levi's.
Yes.
Please no.
Yep. I need that. If that happens, I need that clipped and put on YouTube.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. The Switch t-shirt DLC, that was cool though. I will not lie.
Dragonheart then says, do you guys think that Nintendo will ever remake or re-release all the Fire Emblem games that were never released in the US? What do you think?
There's a few. I think eventually maybe there'll be some type of collection. But I don't know. I don't know.
They could. I mean, they should just translate one of them and move it right over to the online service. Why not? Just drop it on there. Bob says Mad World and Red Steel 2 need Switch remasters. Avedon says, much respect to everyone on here tonight. Keep doing your thing. Good to see Avedon coming out to Avedon. MVG, you were on Beats for.
Yeah, he brought me back. We had a really good chat last week, and I know he released like a first part of that, and there's more to come. So check out Avi's channel. He's got some good content on there.
Okay. I am Saxon says I used to come into GamerDoc, Evan. There you go. All the time when you worked there before you moved to Maryland. Yeah, those are the old days. Those are the days of actually working on systems for people back then.
Times were absolute chaos.
Those were the old days. Man. Let's finish. We're gonna finish up with the Indie World presentation. You know what? I have to say, the Indie World presentation, I thought was pretty good.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
I thought it was good. Compared to some of the other ones, I actually think it was it had a lot of different type of games was the biggest thing. I mean, it's hard with indie games because you can never predict what's going to be there. I think we're still missing like Silksong. I don't know where that went. That's I mean, Team Cherry's probably worked. Maybe it got upgraded to where it's going to be in like a general direct at this point because they're like, this game did really well on the Switch. It's really popular right now, so we'll do that. But like we talked, Ms. Click, about Raji, and that game is actually pretty good. That surprised me a little bit when I saw it because when I first saw it, it gave me some like Prince of Persia, top-down Prince of Persia vibes. So I was like, all right, I'm getting this immediately. And it was already on sale. So like
beautiful art. Yeah.
This was a good strategy. They showed all these games and then they immediately had an indie sale with all of them. Like that is a very clever way to help out some of the indie developers and get them like on like the front page at different spots, get them up on the eShop. I like that. That was good. That was a good push by Nintendo for the indie developers. But you liked Raji, Miss Click. You said it was like 4.5 hours long or so.
4.5, 5 about. Yeah.
Okay. Did you get
Sorry, what?
What did you think of it though when you played?
It was good. I liked the combat. I liked the traversal and like just how you could interact with I mean, there's not like a lot of collectibles, obviously. It's more just like upgrading your tree. I think the UI menu for like upgrading your stuff was a little confusing.
Yes, because you were moving stuff off and putting it back, and I wasn't really sure what I was doing at first for it.
Yeah, you have to like press the R trigger like several times to like there's not like, it doesn't necessarily like tell you exactly what you're doing. Or like how many points you have left, you know, it was weird. But other than that, I really liked it. I did experience a couple of bugs that I actually had to like close the game and restart. I'd like get stuck in the map, or I was fighting the final boss and he just like disappeared. And so like I'm just like running around and like it's just nowhere to be found. And I'm like, But other than that, I did really like it. You know, it does end very suddenly, in my opinion, and I can't tell if it's meant to be sort of a tragedy or if it's set up for a second part. Okay. That's all I'll say. But it was good. I think for the first time, like, you know, them working 4 years on it, I think they should be proud, you know.
Going through the list of the games that I have here, GameSpot had a quick list of it. We had Hades, which Hades apparently is very popular on Steam. I look at it occasionally. I thought about picking it up a few times. Evan, I think you even mentioned it at one point, but it's overwhelmingly positive in early access on Steam. And I thought
that was one of the Epic Store games, the timed exclusive ones that eventually came out, and it was big there, but everyone kind of still waited on it on Steam, and then when it landed on Steam, everyone bought it. It was awesome.
That apparently will have cross save support. So if you already have progress on Steam, you can move it over. I think that's a great feature that's been going on with the Switch. Civilization and Witcher have the same thing. So that's a good feature. I have Hypnospace Outlaw. Then we had Spiritfarer, which people are saying Spiritfarer is really good. Nate played it, and of course he's not here, but he told me it was.
He liked it.
So I picked it up, and I haven't played it yet. But I was like, all right, I'll grab that too.
I've been interested in it.
Yeah,
Rob said it was really good too. Rob from Rule 2 Review.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, I'll play some of that. All of a sudden, a bunch of games are on my Switch that I need to play now. Garden Story was announced. Subnautica Below Zero. I need to see how that plays, by the way.
That's going to be a trip.
That has problems on every system it releases. So even on PC, it's like, this game shouldn't be that hard to run, but it is for some reason.
It's also a game that I feel like really kind of relies on graphics. You know what I mean? Like, it's meant to kind of like you're underwater and like the beauty of it. Like,
maybe the water will be really murky on the Switch version.
It will.
Maybe how they handle.
Yeah,
I don't know. Make it look like you're in brackish water. I don't know.
It's gonna be interesting to see how that one works out. But I mean, it was cool to see it. This is a game that I picked up, but I didn't play it yet. I said this wrong apparently before. Okay, it's at Takeshi and Hiroshi. I think
Takeshi.
Takashi.
Okay, because I said Takashi was Takeshi. Okay, anyway, this is a game that I saw. It's apparently an adventure RPG, but it's like one brother trying to make a game for another brother so that he can enjoy it, because he's going to like the hospital a lot and stuff, and it looked really, really cool. It's done like this claymation visual style sort of. So I got that. I haven't played that one yet, but it's an adventure RPG. Raji, we talked about that. Bear and Breakfast, people were pretty excited about that one too. That's in 2021.
This made me laugh. I just started making Yogi Bear jokes when I was
a short hike. You know what looked really cool was Card Shark. Did you guys see that game?
It was an interesting concept. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
You're trying to cheat in games of cards, and you don't want to get caught apparently, because in the trailer it looked like he did get caught. That's at least a different enough concept where I'll check it out. That's not till 2021.
Called it. Reminded me of Bede from Pokemon Sword and Shield. What is his name? Beady, whatever his name. Looks like him.
Torchlight 3. So that is coming out this year actually.
I am picking that up. I like
so
Torchlight. It's like Diablo Light, you know. It's really good. I like the Torchlight games. I've always liked them.
There were a lot of issues with this release, but I haven't really heard anything since their that initial release where everyone was like, "This is garbage." Now I kind of want to look back into it.
Yeah, maybe they ran a bunch of updates and everyone just started playing it after that. I don't know. We'll see. Manifold Garden was shown off. Then we had Evergate and Haven, Going Under, The Red Lantern, Unrailed, Struggling, Inmost, She Dreams Elsewhere, Grindstone, and Goner 2. And then we finished up with the Untitled Goose Game multiplayer update. This was interesting, and then of course they also showed that they're gonna have a physical release for it as well in there. But so there's going to be a multiplayer September 23rd for the Untitled Goose Game. Is it just offline couch co-op? Is that all it is? They say?
Seems like it, yeah.
Okay,
it's offline,
like an Overcooked kind of thing.
Yeah, it's offline couch co-op.
Yeah. That seems like something that would be a lot of fun. But it was definitely out of nowhere. I don't know. They say the goose was loose, but now the geese are loose. And Nate pretty excited about this, obviously, because he's a big fan of the Untitled.
Nate predicted there would be Untitled Goose DLC on his show last week. He called it.
Oh wow, shocker!
Ninjas got him.
now he's not
the
here.
Geese got him.
Surprising, yes.
The geese got him this time. It wasn't ninjas. It was geese.
It's all coming into place here. It's all clicking into place. Yes. So I mean, finishing off with that was fun. Obviously, it's a very popular game online. People were having a lot of fun with it, so it makes sense to finish up with that. But what was everyone's thoughts on the indie world? Like I said, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was fun.
Solid. It was solid.
A lot of games just came out right away too. So it wasn't like
I like that.
Yeah, it's like available today. Like those are the ones I like.
There's no point in like sitting there having an indie presentation and like, oh, it's available in 5 months. It's like, bro, are we even gonna remember? That's the
best marketing shot they got. So it's like, hey, we're available right now. Go pick it up. That's why I got Raji, because I was like, oh, well, I'll go check it out now, because if it came out in like September or like October, I mean, there might be something there, and we might be talking about Cyberpunk if it comes out in November, right? So like, there's that instant, feeling of like, oh, I'll just go get this now. We'll check it out. So it's a good way to do it. Make a first impression, then tell you it's available right away. Would you oh, Jordan's not here. Jordan's somewhere. Where'd he go?
Ninja's got him too.
Yeah.
Getting there, buddy. Who's next?
I did like it. We'll see what like I said, what happens maybe this week. Let's go over to some of the super chats before we finish up. I also go to Streamlabs 2. We had Juice Man Vaughn saying, MVG, is Clubhouse Games still game of the
Absolutely.
Wait, you just said
over
Flight Simulator. Hold on.
We just said it wasn't a game, right? So I mean, if it's not a game, then it's got to be Clubhouse Games.
Well, Clubhouse Games is on the same level, because that's not a game either, right?
Whoa, it is a game.
You know what you should be able to do? You should be able to play Clubhouse Games inside of Flight Simulator.
There we go.
Yeah.
That would be
passengers.
That would be the ultimate partnership right there.
Yeah,
Microsoft and Nintendo have been doing things, so let's get that going.
No, but that doesn't seem like a bad idea though. Imagine if you could go with friends online. It's like Minecraft, right? And you can play online, sign into Xbox Live, and you can play Clubhouse Games inside of your friends while somebody's flying. You can play Clubhouse Games with your friends inside it. Wouldn't that be dope?
That would be dope.
Or what if in Clubhouse Games you had a race who could like take their plane off first? No, that's not good. I don't like it. Scrap it. Forget it. No.
I was like, where are you going with this clip?
I don't know. I'm trying.
It says Soups visits the dentist and ends up with a kryptonite filling.
Yeah.
Nobody says, was Def Jam messing with us, or will we get another game? Hopefully not. Okay, hold on a minute.
Frauds.
Cell phone
They were
game.
messing with us.
Man, we got
Frauds.
to 1 million followers, and they never announced anything.
I will never purchase, never support anything from Def Jam ever. They're a bunch of frauds with their stupid selfies of people that don't care about us. Oh my god, I could rant forever. Screw Def Jam. Screw them. They are fraudulent.
Go on.
Yeah, keep it going.
I'm done. But you can't sit here and tease a game.
I feel like you're holding back a little bit.
I am holding back. I would say some other stuff, but I'm not going to. But you
Nate's
can't.
not here.
Go on. Go
We
on.
need the hate.
Sitting here. No, you can't. You can't sit here and tease. Oh, there's a game reveal at 1 million, and then sit there and post selfies of rappers and all the time. And people are asking, "What's happening? What's happening?" You're lying. That was just a ploy. That was just you blatantly tricked everybody to following your stupid account of your washed up brand of Def Jam. You know. So I mean, I'm just like.
There we
good.
go. That's what we need. So we've had Nate the hate. Now we have OJ don't play. This is great. I love it.
No, but why would they do that?
OJ
Like,
don't play.
why would they do that? It's so wrong.
They had this great plan. They were going to unveil their new game, right? And they were like, "Oh, okay, guys, we'll celebrate it with 1 million." And then everyone followed them, and they said, "It better not be a cell phone game." And they looked over, and it was a cell phone game, and they're like, "Uh-oh."
It better not be mobile.
We do now.
But I thought you all had cell phones.
Dude, I bet you it's a cell phone. I bet you that's what it is. I bet you it's a cell phone game.
And I bet you it was trash. I bet you anything it was complete garbage. Like the best rapper they had on there was like Machine Gun Kelly. I guarantee you that was the headliner was Machine Gun Kelly. I guarantee you that was the headliner was Machine Gun. And they're like, oh wait, hold up.
The only person they could afford was Lil Wayne, and he fights different variants of Lil Wayne through the year. Sometimes his dreads are down here.
Just in
sometimes they're
different
up here.
shirts. They all just have
You
different
got
shirts.
90s Wayne.
We have
early
tank top
2000s
Wayne. We have baggy shirt Wayne. We have skateboard Wayne. We have all
His
the
hairline
Waynes.
just recedes and recedes as
We
the
even,
years go.
if you do the cheat code, you can make Lil Wayne become Big Wayne. He's like tall now. He's like super tall. Big Wayne. Crazy.
Oh my God.
Is Soldier Boy in this at all? Or
First take, Lil
He's funding
Wayne.
it personally.
he's funding it personally?
It's on his
Right
website. You can see it right now.
It's gonna be on his console.
I'm telling you, in
We
like
need-
a week, they're gonna announce a cell phone game in like a week, and then just not say anything about it ever again.
We need a new Soldier Boy console.
We do. I would like it.
It's about time.
Christmas coming up.
Yeah, we need that for those views. John was number one on trending.
I heard he's into
Soldier
making
Boy
Switch
console.
clone now. So
RGT85 needs to get back on World Star, so put it back out.
yeah.
Oh, that was such a weird timeline. That month was so weird. And then, okay, Philip says Nintendo Switch Online year 3 coming up. So do we get Game Boy or N64 games or both? It's gonna be monochrome Game Boy.
It's
That's it.
no, we're not going to get anything.
Monochrome Game Boy. They're not even gonna give us Game Boy Color. It's gonna be you're gonna fire it up and it's just gonna be 2 colors on your screen. It's gonna be
Green and
Mario.
gray.
Yep, that's what's gonna happen.
I love it.
People are laughing about it. Just wait. You just wait. I would like to see something cool like Game Boy Advance, but I think they're going to announce a new system, but I think it's going to be like for the online service. I think it's going to be super disappointing, whatever it is.
Gotta get through that SNES list, man. They got like 700 games left on that list. So
They announce like 2 games every 4 months. It's still just taking a while. Maybe they'll do like Mario All Stars, like the old one too, for the online Super Nintendo.
I was thinking about that if they do the 35th, or when they do the 35th collection, maybe they'll drop Super Mario All Stars on the online service there.
Or maybe they just do Mario RPG and just move that. Just drop that on there, like, hey, because it's different enough, right? Rather than the All Stars thing, they're just like, oh yeah, here's Mario RPG.
What if they announce a new Mario RPG game?
Well, that would make me really happy.
Sorry,
So
that's
it
nothing to
probably
do with
won't happen. Nintendo's just like, wait, that would make Spawn pretty happy. You know what? Just scrap it. Don't worry about it. John says, OJ, did you beat that overpowered alien in Mario RPG, the one that wants to fight Earth's greatest knight?
Yeah, he's talking about Kulix. That's the character from Final Fantasy.
You talking about
Secret
Cubics?
Kulix.
Talk about the old school TV show Cubics?
Rubik's?
Like the cube?
that's probably the hardest boss. That boss is actually harder than the final boss in Super Mario RPG. So yeah, of course, I've done everything. I don't think there's anything that I haven't done in that game. I beat it so many times because I couldn't afford games back then. So I would just beat the game over and over and over and get every single little secret and max out everything that I could. Every single character, beat it with every single combination that I could beat the game in. That game is dope. I love that game. Yeah, cool. It's a good boss fight. It's hard because even if you're at level 30, like he's still super strong. So it's still a tough boss fight.
Jay said, Tone says, what up though? Jay says PS5 new controller tech, custom SSD, custom cooling versus Xbox normal controller, regular SSD, simple fan cooling. PS5 has to be more expensive to make versus X. I think there is an argument to be made that the PS5 is actually more expensive. I think that is. I think you could make that argument because I think the DualSense is going to outright be more expensive than the Xbox controller easily. They showed a teardown of the Xbox Series S X controller. It was someone took a picture and put it online, and it looks almost exactly the same minus that middle button. So
see how heavy it is? It's like 0.16 grams heavier. That's insane. Like I saw that picture, I was like, wow, I'm gonna feel all that difference. Like, yeah, it's so much more dense in your hands. I was like, the scales are barely off here.
It's very, very, yeah, it looks very similar. Like they're still going to use the older rumble motors and everything. The PS5 is going to have a lot going on, and like they talked about how Deathloop will stop you from being able to pull the trigger back in the game if your gun jams and stuff like that. Like that's actually pretty interesting. But then we always go, well, that's probably more expensive too, right? So I think it's very possible that the PS5 is more expensive to make. So. Aiden Quinn says, when they first showed off Avengers, I thought it was an action games using Square IP like Final Fantasy X Avengers, kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom, but Square. Ray says, on the topic of mini games, have any of you guys played Momodora Under the Moonlight? It's a really good 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania. I'll have to check that one out again. That sounds kind of familiar, actually. Maybe I have. I'll have to check that one. I will check that one out, Ray. Mushwork says, so do we know what's going on with Nate? Thought he was going to show up for the SpawnCast. No clue.
I think he got injured.
I think they got him. He's been saying the 28th for like a week or so, and some people weren't noticing, and now all of a sudden it's out there and he's gone. So I mean,
R.I.P.
Just add it all up.
He knew too much. He flew too close to the sun.
Zaire Miller says, what do you think midnight console release would be like? Would be with COVID still around? They'll make people wait in their car and then they'll call you up with your receipt.
Individually, everyone just getting out.
Yeah,
that's probably would be. Yeah,
they only let a certain amount of people in. Like you just wait in your car, and then like they'll let 5 people into the store 6 feet apart, or 10 people in 6 feet apart, and then you just grab your consoles.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's gonna go pre-order the things once they open. Like the PS5 opens pre-order, everyone's gonna rush to like Gamescom.
There's gonna be fights because of how many people can be in the store to pre-order. There's gonna be fights about like, oh, I want to go. I'm supposed to be in there and waiting in line to get the pre-order, even though I'm sure the pre-orders aren't gonna sell out
online
like, right away.
Online, that's
pre-order it online.
Yeah, pre-order online.
Just if you see it on Amazon, pre-order it. Like, don't hesitate because you don't have to pay anything yet on Amazon. Best Buy, they'll pull from your card, but you'll get it back. Then it'll pull again, but they immediately pull.
I don't like that, but
I hate that shit. They need to figure it out.
Yeah, they need to figure that out, dude. I really don't like it.
Captain Chaz says, do you think Oceanhorn 2 will be getting Legend of Zelda costumes / skins exclusively for the Switch version?
Probably not. They would have already talked about it if that was going to happen, right?
Oh, they would have definitely said something about that. Although maybe they drop it into a direct at some point and then
maybe. I don't know.
That'd be kind of cool if they did that.
He already is wearing something that kind of looks like what Link is wearing. So
they're very close. Yes.
Yeah.
Janice says, do you still think we will get the Mario remasters next week? Like you said, 2015 in the Fortnite versus Apple video. Do I think they're going to be announced? Oh, that's tough. It depends what the event is, because there was word that it could be around the time of the anniversary, and we're getting close to that anniversary. So I don't know.
Yeah, remember that controller that's coming out on September the 1st as well. So I mean, look, I would say yes, we're going to hear something about Mario next week. I just don't know what that will entail.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards it too. This 28th event,
most likely an announcement for sure.
Yeah, I am leaning towards it, but I get concerned because no one seems to know for sure, and it's like, we'll see. Sokar says Arcana for SNES Online. Let me go over to Streamlabs. And we'll go through that. We can also start doing some outros too while we're going through the Streamlabs stuff.
Let's do intros instead.
Jordan.
Yeah, hi. Is it my intro or my outro?
We'll do both. Do both.
Hi, I'm Jordan. Also, bye, I'm Jordan. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I put a video out earlier today it's probably the most work I've ever put into a video in my entire life. It's really weird and interesting. It's about Ned's Declassified, but it's also about how your brain works and how it functions and how you think about things. I literally took a college class to write the script on this, and it's the most amount of time and effort I've ever put into a video. And if you have 13 minutes,
you got a link
in the chat. You did.
Yeah, I put a link in there.
So
check it out.
Check it out. Also check out his Kickstarter for his movie because he's almost there.
Yeah, check out the that's the previous video. I just linked to the recent video. So yeah,
good. That's gonna be cool when that's funded and everything. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close here. Exciting.
Let me go over to Mr. Pete saying, will anyone be picking up an X Station or PS1 digital? I think you're talking about the replacement.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, the optical drive emulation. Yeah, I'm gonna check one of those out. I think.
I want to check out the HDMI. Some of the stuff for HDMI, people are saying looks crazy.
I have that. And it's excellent.
Yes,
I'll make a video on it at some point.
Yes, I want to take a look at that because some of the video I've seen for it looks wild for being on the PS1. So I want to try installing it too. I saw some install videos and it looks like it'd actually be pretty fun to do. Wishbone says hashtag Team Samurai Jack F Battletoads, and I haven't played neither. Zippo says, hey guys, I was curious, do you have a dream sequel announcement that you know would never happen but wanted anyway, minus Chrono Trigger 2? Also, best of luck on the movie, Jordan.
Oh, thank you. I apprite that.
Lost Odyssey 2.
Lost Odyssey would be amazing, yes.
If there was ever another but I think that franchise is dead.
Microsoft, dig deep.
I think that franchise is super dead. I don't think it's
Scalebound 2. Let's just skip the first one. Just go Scalebound.
Scalebound 2.
Throw some Rise 2. Let's go.
Okay. All right. That actually has some likelihood to it. You never know with that. Jeff
I'm taking your Bloodborne game.
Oh, that's probably gonna happen, right? Bloodborne 2.
Do another Vanquish.
Yeah. So
that'd be awesome.
There is only 2 correct answers here.
Okay, Jordan.
It's a new Spyro.
No, we're already getting that next year.
What?
Listen.
Hold on. Wait, what? Huh?
Here's the scoop. All right. Here's the only 2 games that need to come back, and one now has a possibility. Is Croc getting a new Croc game? All right. And the other one is Chameleon Twist 3, everyone. It's going to happen one day. The little chameleons who are going to come back. All right. I'm telling you. Don't believe me? Just one day. Keep hope. I thought Skate 4 was, I should give up on that after all these years. Look what happened.
That's true.
Look what happened.
We memed into existence.
And I've been memeing Croc into existence and Chameleon Twist 2, and Croc may be happening now. So.
Well, hey, if they put up a Kickstarter for Chameleon Twist, you're gonna back it.
Oh,
right?
that's probably just my Kickstarter. I'm like, guys, I'll make it myself. I'll figure it out. I'll go to college to learn.
I would say, what if they funded it? Would you be like, oh?
I literally just go to college and learn how to make a game.
All right, guys, this thing will be out in 10 years.
Guys, give me some time. It'll be the best game that you probably won't ever get to play.
It'll still come out before
on
Halo
cell
Infinite.
phones.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh, the old cell phone switcheroo. I like it.
Jeff Burns says my brother is having a decent time playing Flight Simulator. The problem for him is the RAM. He has an M2 SSD and a Ryzen 2700X RTX 2060, but it struggles with 16 gigabytes of RAM. Think you kind of need at least 32. That's actually the recommended is 32.
Yeah.
Like,
you want. I got 64, so it's running well. But yeah, you're gonna want at least 32 on your machine.
Oh, good. I have 32. I'm set then. Cool. I actually have a 2070 Super. It might be interesting to see how that does.
Dude, it'll run well on a 2070 Super.
It'll be
I
interesting.
just don't want to wait and download the whole thing.
Yeah, that's the only thing. It's like 100 gigabytes.
It's
like I guess I have it because of Game Pass. I just like.
I mean, at some point in time, you got to sleep. So like, just
and
download.
That tricks you, right? Because you install it
True.
and you think it's done, and then you load the game and it's
gotta
like,
unpack and do all this.
yeah, it's like. Now we have to install another 90 gigabytes of data on your hard drive. It's like,
Dude,
shit,
I
better wait like another 5 hours.
I tried to do that with Final Fantasy 15. I just said, screw this, man. I'm PC because it's like 100. I was like, dude, this is ridiculous. I'm not sitting here and waiting for this
can't wait for
game.
next gen. It's gonna be great.
Like, I don't even do that for next. That's why I don't play the games. It's like
People do it for Call of Duty all the time. What's
Call of Duty? I uninstalled that hard.
Every update is ridiculous on that.
No, Call of Duty's
200 gigabytes now.
Yeah,
that's not even worth it.
They have that
I'm
patch
good.
packeting problem where everything's in one big packet, so you have to re-download major chunks of the game to fix minor things.
60 gigabytes.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're gonna have to solve for next gen. Like, we get it, super fast SSD loading speed's gonna be great, visuals are gonna be awesome, but these game sizes are just going to continue to get larger and larger. I mean, pretty soon you'll be only able to fit like 2 games on a stock hard drive.
If they can figure out procedural textures, it'll be so good. But
wasn't this some of the stuff they were talking about, where the boring guy from PlayStation was talking about for like an hour?
No, I don't think he really addressed like the size.
Talked about like redundant files not being needed, so like you don't need 18 million mailboxes or something.
If they can figure out how to, like, if they can pinpoint that kind of stuff in there, they need to figure out how to pinpoint, hey, this is an update that goes right here, not all of it, just right here.
True.
That's more an engine thing, because I know Payday had the same problem that Call of Duty is having right now, and it took them like a year to fix it.
Whoever can figure that out first wins.
They have to make it so that the game starts very fast. So like even if the game is 100 gigabytes, you only have to download like 4 gigabytes to start. Like, and then it'll stream the rest in as you go.
Blizzard already does that with most of their games, because even in their installer, it gets to a point, and then it's like, do you want to play now?
Yeah.
Playable.
But that's where xCloud should come in for the Xbox or even on PC. The game should just like start streaming, and then as you're streaming the game, it should download in the background, and then like have this weird thing where the resolution all of a sudden jumps, and that's you go into your local machine. That should be something that Microsoft should try to do. But the game's file size is a real problem for. I mean, we're talking about NVMe drives now, right? Those aren't cheap. So. And then we have Mac Mega, is the GameCube version of Twilight Princess better than the Wii U version, and which version should I get?
Yes, get the GameCube. If you have it, it's playable and you can get an adapter for it. GameCube is still better than Wii U, which is better than Wii.
GameCube one is legit.
The controls are better. It's just
the game, and you know what's, if you can get the GameCube version now, it's just going up in value anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to find, and it's expensive.
Yeah, Wii I think is like $20, and then it's like 70 or something for the GameCube version.
GameCube games keep going up in value. It is what
that Phantom Hourglass, baby.
It's all about Phantom Hourglass. All right.
Justin Time says Ubisoft recently announced that their upcoming European Collector's Edition will not come with the game disc for Xbox, but will for PlayStation. Do you think this is because of Microsoft for some reason? Love you guys. There's also an option if you want. You don't need a disc for your PlayStation. You can just say I want digital for that too. But they seem to be just making the move by default for the Xbox. I almost wonder if they're unsure as to sales for the Xbox for some of their games, or they have more data for digital on the Xbox than they do for Sony, or I don't know.
I know I've talked about this before, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but man, they got to figure out the refund or the return policy or the reselling policy on these games. Like, you can't go into this next generation as a mostly digital generation and not have any type of idea about how you can resell these games. They have to figure this out.
They got to figure out something with unique identifiers for each game that's sold, and you can trade them or even sell them, I guess, technically.
Can you imagine?
I know Steam was talking about that. Yeah, I know Steam was talking about that because they already have the marketplace, and technically the game's tied to your account, so you should be able to put it up on a market.
See, Jordan, you got the right idea. Collecting all those Blu-rays and stuff. Stay physical with it.
Dude, physical is dying. I mean, like, what didn't Disney just announce that they're not doing any of the Fox releases anymore on 4K releases? So like, we got Alien 1 on 4K when Fox had it, and then now that Disney owns it, they're like, we're not going to put Aliens on 4K at all or anything. The Aliens transfer is great. Like, that's a beautiful 4K. Disney's like, we'll make a different streaming service to add on to Disney Plus with all the Fox movies, most likely.
Steam's going to be the first, I assume, platform that attempts it. So we'll just, because their refund policy is good and everything for digital games. So I think they'll be the first. I think they'll be the first platform that tries it. So
it'll be cool.
See. Then we have Shamsa coming in with the big 200. Shamsa, appreciate it. Thank you. Big shout out to Shamsa. No message, but thank you as usual, Shamsa.
Love you, boo.
Appreciate it. And East KY Retro saying, having surgery on my knee September 4th. Hope to hear some Nintendo news soon before I'm down and can't walk. You guys are awesome, especially OJ, who I look up to as a content creator. Keep doing your show, and I will keep watching.
Oh so my wholesome. Gosh! Wow,
my heart.
Very nice, miss. Thank you so much, East KY Retro. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. That's a very nice.
I mean, OJ's all right, you know.
Speedy recovery, friend.
Pluses, yeah.
Yeah, he's so good.
Positives and negatives. You know what I'm saying?
Seriously though, hope your surgery goes well.
Yes,
man.
yes. And OJ, how about we go over to you for your outro? I think there may have been a few other super chats go over, but where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube as the Black Guy channel. No, I'm joking. You can find me right here on YouTube. At Player Essence is the name, Player Essence, so you guys can find me there. I'm live streaming daily. I'm editing videos daily as well. There's new videos every single day, live streams every single day, a lot of interactive chats and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. Maybe a mom joke every now and then. Just not very often though, not very often. So you guys can check out the channel. We got a big upcoming week. There should be a lot of cool live streams. There should be some stuff that's going down if all the rumors are true. So I cover all that. So you guys come through.
And then what about MVG?
Thanks for having me on. It was always a pleasure to be here. You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G and YouTube Modern Vintage Gamer, and check out Monday's video. And if I can ever get a hold of Nate again, we're going to probably have a busy week next week. We'll probably have at least 2 Nate the Hate episodes next week. So
just got to go to the park bench, find the guy with the newspaper.
Slide the USB over.
Then Paul says, big move 1 week before Xbox, PS5, and video release. Oh, Nintendo Big N releases a $330 Nintendo Switch Breath of the Wild 2 bundle. Regular Nintendo Switch moves $270 Lite to $180. Thoughts?
$330. It's a weird price.
I'd be very surprised if any of that happened.
Sounds like a time more than a price.
1 week before Xbox PS5, so in November. Yeah, well, I think Breath of the Wild 2 isn't coming out. I think that's again next year. They would have already announced if it was coming this year, since that'd literally be 2 months away, 2.5 months away. So it's the year of Mario, Miss Click. Come on.
Yeah, let Mario have it.
Yeah, let's get Mario.
He's not a plumber anymore.
He only has like 30 million games. Okay.
So does Zelda.
No.
Yeah,
and at least every Zelda is different.
Yeah. So
Phantom Hourglass.
You ain't got
no, I'm just being salty. I like Mario. Don't get me wrong. Chat's gonna try to freaking cancel me.
Listen, when is the year of Nintendogs
Mario.
coming back? All right, we need Nintendogs 3. All
right. And then Matt Bradley says, whatever happened to the Mad Box? That was from the Project Cars 2 developers. Well, it was never really a thing in the first place, but I mean, come on.
Those guys are speaking of frauds with Def Jam.
Hey, the Mad Box will come eventually when the Wii U port of Project Cars 2 shows up. Isn't that right, OJ?
Yeah, sometime. And the Phantom gaming system, we can throw it into that system too.
Soplock says, how will the upgrades for next gen work with discs? Oh, it seems to be game by game basis, because Control is doing some stupid stuff right now. So who knows with half of them.
I think they're just trying to figure out the right path to take. But I think this will get.
I think the first Controls didn't sell well.
Dude, I
mean, it's basically a double dip, right? But I mean,
did you guys see that? The digital edition comes out this point. The physical edition is at this point. If you buy it at this one, then you get an upgrade. That whole Control thing is ridiculous, dude.
People bought Control and the season pass and all the DLC, which came out to like $100 almost, or something like that.
You know what's ridiculous? Control winning soundtrack of the year. Screw
and
them.
not Sayonara Wild Hearts? What?
No, freaking Fire Emblem didn't even get nominated. I'm so salty.
None of those were the
Ace
best.
Combat. Ace Combat was
shattering.
I bought the game and still haven't even played it yet. You know what? That's a game I should play. I didn't even know I had that. I forgot.
Control.
I got played in VR.
Yeah, Control, I just don't think sold that well. So they're like, wait a minute, we can sell.
But it's Game of the Year contender.
You nominate it for a whole bunch of games and it sells copies.
Well, the big thing with that is they keep saying they can't figure out the upgrades, but then Dirt 5 keeps saying, hey guys, you get the upgrade, and you also get 120 frames per second when you upgrade, and like all this stuff. And it's like, man, those two tweets, because they show up on the timeline one after the other. It's like,
Dirt 5 not even out yet?
No, it's out in October.
I felt like they announced the game like 4 years ago at this point.
They announced it at I thought they announced it at the Xbox third-party event.
Nah, I feel like it's been talked about.
Has it? They may have talked. They may have talked about it. I remember they showed it there first because people were like, "This looks like an Xbox One game, not a Series X game."
There's definitely dirt in the game.
And Miss Click, where can they find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. You can find me here on YouTube as Miss Click Gaming. I have a video coming out tomorrow. Again, we're Fall Guys, but with Max and OJ, we got together playing the game, and it was fun. OJ won a game, I think, right? I think that's in there.
No, stop it. You know that I won because I was the only one who won a game.
It's true. It's true.
It's good for you,
It's
OJ.
true.
It's good for you.
It's true. It's true.
I won the game. Not I
Cheated.
think.
Okay, so that's out tomorrow. And then you can find. Oh wait, did that link? Okay, it works. And then you can find me live almost every day on twitch.tv/missclick_live. And other than that, just misclick on social media.
Awesome. And then Evan, what about you?
Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Kimmerix Project. I'm usually doing stuff. I think my streams are limited to Wednesday through Friday now because I've been getting busy. Commissions I'm finishing this week, and then it's going to be back to my own normal stuff. So you guys are going to be seeing some of that after that.
Cool. Okay, I guess it's going to do it here for SpawnCast episode 177. Hopefully next Saturday night we have some stuff to talk about. Right, we got Gamescom and then maybe some sort of Nintendo event. We'll see. Maybe Nate will be back. I don't know. We got to find him. He might actually be in trouble.
Could just be me next week on Nate the Hate.
He's been talking too much. Oh well. All right, guys. We'll see you. We'll see you next weekend.